we can go down and be like, cool, took us to your base.
Yeah, we're in the center now.
Yeah.
I am ready. You have to excuse my voice. I was singing karaoke last night, so it's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
In the last session, you finally arrived in Novgorod, not after you had a strange encounter with a strange potion seller who, Blossom tried to steal from. Didn't go too well, really, in the end. Quite disapproving from both Gertrude and Snooper, and I think Firion probably in his own way as well. But you did eventually arrive at Novgorod. Finally got to hear the roars of the Siege Ball Arena. Before you made your way immediately trying to find Demo. And using Firion's locate object spell, you managed to determine that Demo lied somewhere beneath the city. Instead of climbing directly into the sewers, you decided it might be better to explore what are the more sort of local bars and ask for information. So you went to probably the seediest place in Novgorod, a place called the Crick Kicking Dive, which is a horrible name for a horrible pub. And you, after sort of intimidating the bartender and paying your way past a bouncer type, you ended up being introduced to a man named Riker Vigil, whose criminal affiliations you're still not completely aware of. But he said to you that the only way you were really going to get to where he suspects where Demo is with his help. And if you want his help, you either have to do a mission for him, or you have to pay him 1,000 gold pieces and he'll take you there, no questions asked. So you decided not to sign a magical contract because that seemed fishy as fuck, and instead you decided to go about getting those 1,000 gold pieces, and I'll take you as we start the session back to Novgorod. That's a lot louder. I've added some new music between last session and today because I felt like I was lacking a little bit. So please describe to me what each of you are doing now that you've left the pub, and once you've done that, can all of you please make perception checks for me?
So we're just leaving the pub, yeah?
Yeah, I assumed that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Firion is still very much a passenger. Spider mode.
Spider mode. How are we gonna get 1,000 gold, Gertrude?
Look, we can get it, no problem, Blossom, but I'm only going to do this once. If another one of your daggers go missing, we can't put this much effort in again.
Oh, I never let Demo go missing again. It was really silly, but yeah, my dagger.
I'm serious, Blossom. If this happens again, I'm not going to help find him. This is too much. I just wanted to relax.
That's okay. So she sort of looks a bit sad. She's like, "No, that's okay. I guess I could try and find him myself."
No, it's fine. And she pulls out an opal and gives it to Blossom. This should get us 1,000 gold if we find somewhere to sell it.
You would know, Gertrude, that based off what Nilkas told you, that within the marketplace there was a jeweler's, so that might be a good place to to go to sell jewels.
Yeah, she does look at Blossom. She's like, but I think we might need to go in there anyway, irrespective of Demo being in there.
What? Why?
Remember what this roster said in Huppadook? That there was a smuggling operation and they thought it came from Novgorod? Maybe that's the source of it.
So we avoid our baddies down there.
Maybe if we just pay our way in, we can get Demo back and then do a little investigation of our own down there.
As you're saying this, can you all make perception checks for me?
Perception.
Holy shit, 22. 19.
That's
Damn.
halfling reroll.
All really good rolls. Did you both get the halfling? You did. That's so funny. You both got a natural one, but re-rolled. You, both Blossom and Firion. Firion, you're the first to notice it, even with the lower roll. I think you're the most perceptive person, and especially being in your spider form. You look round and you see what you think is the same figure that was following you earlier, keeping a distance, but slowly seeming to be getting closer. It's still hard to make out. All you can tell is that they're quite short. You think whoever they are, you get the impression they're probably a halfling. But Gertrude and Blossom, you also spot this figure as well. And Gertrude as well. You also get this. You also get the sense that she is coming in your direction.
Do we sense that it's the same one from before? Do we remember, or
I think you would get the sense that it was the same figure from before. It was hard to make out them before, and at a distance, they you weren't sure of their gender or anything. I think now you can see that it's probably a female halfling. It's approaching in your direction.
Blossom notices. She's like, "Hey, it's you from before."
As she sort of comes up, she moves up right close to you and she's sort of kind of staring at you quite intently.
Blossom stare back at her.
Yeah, and she sort of marches up fast, and as she marches up fast, imagine you stepped out of the shop and she's approaching you from like the left and she's walking right, and she's staring right at you but also kind of like past you, and as she does, she kind of just like grabs your hand, Blossom, and starts pulling you away, like to the right.
Where are we going? She will follow.
Yeah. How does Gertrude react?
Hey, get your hands off her!
She just says, come with me, quickly.
Aww.
Yes, Gertrude would follow for a bit, because it seems a bit weird.
She looks around and she says, you are either very brave or very crazy going into a place like that. And, well, my name is Telva Conrath.
Hello.
I think you are the, if I'm correct, the Sparkillers?
Oh, how do you know we're the Sparkillers? You didn't say our name yet.
Your reputation in Huppadook precedes itself.
Oh, you hear that, guys? We got a reputation already.
You worked with the Starosta. What the fuck was her name? Let me quickly look. Starosta Emma Zesbok, correct?
Yes.
Probably.
You would remember, Blossom. You did work for the Starosta whilst you were there.
I vaguely recognised the name.
And she would say to you, me and the Starosta are close friends. I think
Okay.
she vouched for you, said you are people that I can trust. And she looks to the spider on Blossom's thing, and she's like, and of course, Mr. Fury and Moonlocks.
Spider does a little wave.
I've been following you for a while. Well, following your activity for a while.
Oh, you're
Did you
very
see what
sneaky.
happened? Did you see what happened at the inn?
I didn't see exactly. I saw you enter the back room, so I can assume that you've met with Riker Vigil.
Yeah, I meant on the road.
Like I said, I wasn't following per se, in terms of your mission from Happerduk to Novgorod, but I have a lot of contacts throughout the realm. And you see she starts to like conjure this spell in her hand. She starts doing the somatic components, and almost it's like for a moment you get the impression like the sound around you, like the streets, like the people walking down, starts to like quieten.
Mm.
And she sort of like moves her hand back into her pocket, and she pulls out a like amulet with the symbol. It looks like this. What the fuck is it? Oh, I thought I had a symbol there. So it would look a little bit like the symbol of the Dwendalian Empire, but it would more specifically be in like a star shape around it. So it'd kind of look like this symbol, but imagine it's got a star shape around it, and then the actual amulet. And she says, I work for the Organ Trust. Feel free, Gertrude and Firian. Blossom, I'm sorry, but you're Blossom.
Yep.
You wouldn't be familiar with the Gorgon Trust, but the Gertrude.
Does it look like what's on our badges? Sheriff's badges.
The what? Sorry.
Sheriff's badges.
It would be similar, yeah.
Is it history we're doing?
History, yes. And Gertrude, you can roll with advantage on this as well. Holy fucking shit, 26. And a 25, blimey. It would be similar. I think the sheriff's badges you had would definitely have the symbol of the Dwendalian Empire on, but also because Happerduk is kind of like more independent place when you got them, it would have maybe had like a bigger section of like Happerduk on the top, and we're part of the Dwendalian Empire, sort of thing. The gnomes of Happerduk are quite like proud of themselves, and it was like, I think it was one of the last, if I'm correct, I don't have to reread the journal entry, but I believe it was one of the last cities to actually join the Empire. It still sort of takes quite a lot of pride in, being sort of semi-independent. Gertrude, with a 26, Firian, I don't think you would have heard of them. You get the impression based off the symbol that it's something to do with the Dwendalian Empire, but you don't know much more beyond that. Gertrude, you know this organisation very deeply. I would say perhaps some of Gertrude's earlier missions as a archivist, like in her training to become an expositor in Sadash, might have involved you working sort of in opposite force to this organisation. The Organ Trust is essentially the Dwendalian Empire's or more specifically, the Dwendalian Crown's spy network. It's quite like a competitive force with the Cobalt Soul, in that they frequently butt heads, often finding themselves in similar spaces, going for similar information, but for different reasons.
Of the FBI and the CIA.
Very much, yes. It's a very good comparison. They're very competitive and tense about achieving their unique ends. I think with the 26, you'd also know, based on the fact that you met Raphael, that the Organ Trust and the Volstrucker network, which is like the assassin network of the Empire, they sort of keep each other's power in check. Sort of the Organ Trust often are working like against the Volstruckers kind of thing to make sure that they don't go overboard, and sometimes the Volstruckers sort of do things that the Organ Trust can't do and get jobs done that they can't otherwise do. So yeah, you would be very familiar with this organisation, Gertrude.
Yeah, she'd just be like, "Are you investigating this smuggling network?"
She nods and she says, after your time in Hupperduke, sorry, I don't miss accents. A fucking accent sometimes lately for me go between Scandinavian and Irish, and I can't control my voice on it. After your time working for the Starosta in Hupperduke, you are familiar with the situation with Burles Sparkhammer and the tribes of Shady Creek Run.
He tried to have us killed on the road.
Well, I'm glad to see he didn't achieve his goals in this matter. Let's just put it this way. This city is corrupt. The Starosta Brume Luddy is a good man. He's a retired general, but he's a bit lost in his sense of duty and pride, and his advanced age. It's going to bring an end to his tenure, I think, sooner rather than later. And he has good people around him, but there's also a lot of dangerous people below him as well. A lot of corruption throughout not only the politicians but the ranks of the righteous brand itself. I've kind of hit a bit of a roadblock, to be honest, in my investigation. Many of the crime families in this city, the Myriad and the tribes of the Shady Creek Run, they are, unfortunately, I'm not as good as my job as I'd like to be, and they have been made aware of my my appearance, and amongst other things. It's not as easy for me to get into places in this city as it once was. But you three, well, I don't mean any offence, but you're relative unknowns.
Oh. Did you see we had a reputation?
You do to the trust, but...
We weren't actually in there investigating the smuggling.
Right.
Exactly, I think. And since you went in there, and I don't know why you went in and spoke to Riker Vigil, but the fact that you came out without, well, with your body still intact, let's put it that way, speaks that you may possibly have an in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good, because
Gertrude
there's
shrugged.
money, though.
Well, as much as I am ashamed to call on a member of the Cobalt Soul to take over my work, I could use your three help. With the war going on, I'm pretty isolated on this. If
you front us the money, then well, I guess we could help.
Do a persuasion check. She looks down, she says, I could maybe give you some up front, but I would need more guarantees that I need this job done. I need to figure out who and which soldiers are accepting bribes, what politicians, who is accepting bribes from the tribes of Shady Creek Run. Furthermore, there is the place you seek. Oh no, you haven't said that to her. Never mind. There is a place below the city. A place called the Golden Cat. It is I don't know exactly, never been there, but some kind of brothel or place where corrupt nobles and criminals go to entertain themselves. If you can get in here and get yourselves in good with some of the folk that may be talking here, perhaps you can find out exactly which soldiers are accepting bribes. If I can find a line between the soldiers, then I can work it up. I don't think I can be accusing any high-ranking politicians and things like this. It's not the way it works. If I can find smaller individuals who are taking the money and they are providing paths through the city for smuggling of illegal creatures, magical weapons, illicit goods, then I can actually make a difference then.
So we need to find out who's getting corrupted and tell them to you.
Pretty much. I want to know, let me make it simple, I want to know which soldiers exactly, their names and their ranks, are accepting bribes from the tribes, and I also want to know which criminal family of the tribes is paying which crooked official.
We can find this out in the underground bit, or everyone usually goes down there.
I think it's possible. There probably will, I imagine, those who surround themselves with underhanded folk are...
We gotta pretend to be the bad guys.
Well...
Easy.
It's certainly an option. The fact that if you can get down there, and if you've gotten in with Riker Vigil, then, well, I believe he's the man who owns the place.
Well, we've got a way in, but it's going to cost an awful lot. I'm not sure if we can afford it.
I'm willing to pay you 500 gold pieces each.
Gertrude's going to try and hold her face like really blankly.
Do a deception check for me.
That's your money, I'll do it.
He's like, I don't know, like, it's good for the cobalt soul, helping you.
Yeah, do a deception check for me, Gertrude, to see how you can...
Take that, yeah.
Natural 20, yeah. She cannot read you at all. Whilst the persuasion check before wasn't really enough, I think the deception alone, she needs help, and we don't need to do an insight check to tell that she's quite desperate for help, Gertrude. And she would say, fine, 1,000 gold pieces each.
Oh.
I'll give you an initial 500. Does that sound agreeable?
Could buy a whole nother iceberg for that country.
It sounds alright.
I will say, though, this is dangerous work. If the wrong kind of people find you asking the wrong kind of questions, you could suddenly be in a... Well, you would literally be in a nest of vipers, and if the vipers suddenly realise you're prey, that could be real bad. But I will say, there are merchants and other folk who like to deal hands with the devil, and some of them are not particularly bright or particularly wise. I think if you speak to the right people, they may be willing to share information without understanding who they're sharing it to. Anyway,
Okay.
I can't stop for much longer. If you need
Sorry. Well, when we find out, how do we find you? Where are you?
I was just about to
Where
say,
you are?
you can find me at the in the scatters. You can find me at the Young Explorers Club. I've been staying there for a while.
You could just meet us at the archive.
If you prefer that, I can check in there.
Yeah.
In, let's say, well, do you have an ability to contact at all? Magically?
No.
Gertrude,
Oh, from
you'd know that you do with the sending stone.
She does little
Yeah, but she's trying to play it coy.
Okay, that's fine.
She's like,
Yeah, but your
maybe
natural
you
20
should
section.
maybe you should just check in at the archive every day at midday, and then we'll update you.
That sounds agreeable. I'll make sure to do that. Anyway, we can't be seen talking for much longer. Good day. And she just walks off and just like completely blanks you suddenly, as if you don't exist.
She waves as she goes.
I will reveal the quest to you, and I'll move it up to your quest log.
So we got a sneaky mission, and also to get demo.
Maybe we should secure demo first.
Yeah.
That way it feels like we're sticking to the reason we wanted to get in there in the first place, and then just not mention anything of the rest until we've got him.
Yeah. But it's the main priority, you know.
Feel free to add the 500 gold. She would have just handed you a bag. And as she walked away, you also would have heard the sound around the area start to sort of return to normal.
Don't forget.
Actually, that was 250.
Huh?
I thought it was 500 gold each.
It's 500 gold up front,
yeah.
and then 1,000 gold each afterwards. So just 500 gold initially.
Got it.
And
Firian's share is held by Gertrude.
I mean, Blossom just gives it to Gertrude so we can buy the
Okay.
in.
So yeah, Gertrude, you can add 500.
We shouldn't go straight back. It'll look
That'd be great.
curious.
Oh, we're ready now. That's right. We just say we found it on the floor.
Well, we'll walk over to the market and do our business at the market, and come back. Then it looks like we've sold some stuff.
Oh, okay.
Firian's gonna pop out a spider form and say, if we're holding this much coin and selling opals at the marketplace, already with eyes on us from criminal elements, we should be very careful.
Oh, that's a good plan, being there's sneakers everywhere.
Maybe we should go to the market, not buy anything, and come back.
Would certainly confuse our trail.
Oh, but if there's drought noodle though.
Well, that's good. So you can get some.
I'd like to attend the Cobalt Soul archive here too, if you would escort me, Gertrude.
Of course. What time of day is it?
Very early. You literally got here probably 8 o'clock, so it's probably only 9:30 by this point.
Shall we go to the market, then the archive, and then back to the... She thinks of a name. The dive.
Yeah.
It's like a plan. And he'd turn back into a spider.
Okay.
Okay, so with Snooper and Lugoom sort of following in tow after finishing their beverages in the dive, you make your way south through the city towards the marketplace, through the narrow streets of the scatters, until you find yourself opening back on to the main streets, and people are it's bustling at this time of day. The the sound of just people going to work and carriages pulled by horses through the streets delivering goods. The noise and atmosphere of a busy, bustling city is, I imagine, nice for some of you and probably less nice for others. Probably definitely a familiarity for you, Blossom, and you probably feel a little bit more in your element here. And I can imagine Blossom maybe sort of walking around looking at all sort of people watching as pointing a different, she might see like a particularly big dragonborn and she'd be like, whoa, sort of thing. And,
oh my god, that guy's really big.
before eventually you come down the sort of main street and arrive at an area that opens up and it's no longer this narrow sort of collection of smaller different streets, and a much bigger open area is the marketplace. It expands with shops on all sides. There's small stalls operating all throughout there. Looking around, you could quite easily find a number of different places. There are, I will tell you, there are armaments places if you wanted to buy armor. There's you would see the restaurant Rockin' Rolls. You would see a place that sells adventuring gear and general goods called the Law Bearer's Arms. You would see a bookshop called Bound to Be Good. You would see an apothecary called the Affordable Apothecary. You would see a Fletcher's place called Harpy's Heartstrings. You would see a jewellery and gem cutting shop called the Sparkle Sisters. You would see a leatherworking shop named Telltale Trimmings. You would see a tailoring shop called the Patchwork Heaven. And finally, you'd also see a familiar name on the sort of more on the corner of the side, like quite a big sort of big building called the Golden Games and Music Shop, that you would know to be Nilcass's shop.
Nice.
So where would you like to go? What shop would you like to go to?
Gertrude wants to sell a short sword.
Okay, you could either go to, you think, the Law Bearer's Arms or Alfro's Armaments.
They look different.
Like, you think Alfro Armaments is more like a blacksmith's, and on the outside it would have like a big sort of anvil with a hammer and a sword, like on the symbol of the thing. It looks quite like a small place that's kind of tucked in with like an overhanging roof section. It's kind of like it's all like open and there's no like particular shop door, but you can see a lot of the armor and adorned on the sort of the walls of this place and different weapons, etc. Well, the Law Bearer's Arms seems more like a traditional shop with where you can just see from looking through the windows that there would be various different supplies, rope and lamps and lanterns and all sorts of things you might need on the road.
Yeah, the second one.
In fact, also another thing you would notice outside the Law Bearer's Arms is that there are a number of people outside who seem to be protesting in some way. They are wearing kind of the robes of like acolytes sort of gear, and they one of them's like holding a sign that says taking the name in vain, and another one says like blasphemy bearer's arms and stuff like this, who are just kind of like, and they're just sort of standing there and sometimes occasionally shouting a little sort of chant, it's like, don't take the Lord's name in vain and things like this.
Yeah, she would
would go over there and just join in for the funsies.
She'd join in the
Don't do the thing! Don't do the thing! Whatever you're talking about, wait!
Are you here as well to protest the use of Arathis' name in a capitalistic manner?
I don't know what those words mean, but yes!
Another.
All the
And she kind of calls over to someone who, like an older woman who's standing on the side, and she's like, "Deirdre, we have another." And she's like, "Oh, fantastic!" And she's like, "Hold this." She gives you like a little sign that sort of says one of the similar phrases on it.
Oh my god, I've got a sign, guys. She starts waving it around.
Gertrude would have gone into the shop trying to ignore it.
Yeah, you sort of push your way past this Blossom standing there, a little sign, and you make your way inside, and immediate sight is that both on either side of the walls, they're like long, large shelves that are just stocked with all kinds of different things. You've got chain, you've got hunting traps, you've got crowbars, all kind of different goods that adventurers might need, and they line both the walls that run maybe sort of 20-25 feet back, and at the far end of the there's like a tables in the middle as well that have an adornment of different objects, and on the far side there's a counter with a human man sort of a thick beard, like a bit unkept, kind of like growing, kind of like, you know, when some guys, they have their beards and it kind of grows outwards and then kind of curves upwards like that. And he's kind of like, you can see that he's kind of like tied like some of it into braids a little bit, but he's kind of done like a very crap job. And he's he's very rosy cheeked and a little bit ugly. He's quite like a little bit overweight, and he's just sort of like he looks to you, Gertrude, and says, "Hail in the name of Arathis, the Orb Lawbearer. Welcome to the Lawbearer's Arms. My name is Terran Commonbrook. How can I help you today?"
I'm just looking to sell some goods.
Oh, of course. What are you looking to sell?
She plonks down a short sword. There's I don't know if you take poisoned arrows.
I certainly could if you're looking to get them off your hands.
Thank you. And this earring. Well, I don't know where the fuck it's from, but there is an earring in my inventory.
Does it say how much it's worth, or is it just a custom item?
It says earring, custom item 1.
God, I cannot remember where that's from, but let's
I
do.
don't think Gertrude would either. Like,
let's do like a persuasion check for me, or just a general charisma check, or just to see how, like, I think how much it sort of decent it looks, maybe. And oh yeah, I think he sort of looks down and he says, "Oh,
Let me have a think.
let me just quickly get the prices up of some stuff. Apologies. Where is the weapons?
there is another thing she wants to sell, but she wants to ask the guy after she sold this stuff.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's in the player's handbook. Let me find ammunition, adventuring gear. Where is arrows?
How many of the poison arrows are you willing to part with?
9.
9. I can give you 9. Considering they're poisoned, 9 gold pieces.
Yeah, she
And-
gets that.
The earring's quite nice. I'll be quite happy to part with, let's say, 25 gold.
Looks at it and it's like, that sounds fine to me.
He'd happily hand that over.
He says, I'm awfully sorry about all the racket outside. It's not been very good for business, so I appreciate you shopping at the Lawbearer's Arms. And
It's no problem.
in your own way, paying tribute to Arathis themselves.
He kind of just nods. Like,
Is there anything I can interest you in? I have a wide array of different things. You are of the Kobold Soul, correct? Of Ioun.
indeed, I am.
Well, there's many things I could that might interest a monk like yourself. I have bags of ball bearings, acid, even a grappling hook if you needed to practice your wall running like some of those monks do.
Well, that all sounds rather good, especially the grappling hook. But well, I'd be interested in that. But I have a sort of speciality item here straight from Huppadook. If you'd be interested in looking at it, I'm not sure how often you get goods like this. And she'd like heave up the Vox Seeker
Ooh, very interesting.
because she never fucking uses it. So
Let me quickly look what rarity that is.
it's common.
Oh, common, cool. Let me just look up the magic item pricing guide on the Dungeon Master's Guide. Bear with me 1 second. Magic items. He would say, "Oh, I could offer 75 gold pieces for that. Looks quite an interesting contraption. What does it do exactly?"
It's you wind it up and well, you can use it for guarding things and going through little passages you can't go through. I mean, that's part of the reason I don't need it, because I'm pretty small as I am.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I definitely pass this thing on. Plenty of adventurers. I'm always looking for exquisite items. I could mark it up at quite a high price, to be honest. I think 75 gold pieces. Does that sound reasonable?
And how much was that grappling hook?
The grappling hook itself is.
Click for you.
Oh, they're 2 gold pieces.
Oh well, yeah, 73 of a grappling hook. That'd be fine.
Very agreeable.
He would sell anything on the old adventurer's gear handout, by the way, just in case any of you did want to purchase any of that sort of stuff.
I mean, Blossom's outside, so technically can't sell my
Yeah.
stuff.
You
I
can
imagine Spider Fairy being bounced around on Blossom's head as she's like bobbing up and down as
Yeah,
she chants
definitely.
the.
Yeah.
I think Legoon would be like dancing with alongside as well, like blood down, and just sort of like
That's what I do again.
and Snoopers. Just kind of, he would probably have made his way inside with Gertrude.
Yeah.
Which the guy probably would have commented on as well. He said, "Oh, a metal man! Don't see that every day."
Gertrude's just like, yeah, most people don't, but I
Well,
actually do.
very, very funny. Well, there must be a invention of Arathis.
And you know what a Arathis is?
100%. It's one of the Arathis is one of the prime deities, the law bearer. He is his domain is very much like the inspiration behind great inventions, the creation of vast cities and law and order within society. He sort of claims dominion over civilization. Do a religion check to see how much you know beyond that.
Also, she's gonna buy the magnifying glass for 100.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, Gertrude, you'd know that like peace and order through structure and law guides the will of her devout followers. And you'd know that the law bearer, also with the 15, you know the law bearer supposedly has a tempestuous romance with Melora the Wild Mother, a furious love that is tempered only when civilization and nature are in balance. You'd know that her commandments are utilize the company and aid of others. The efforts of the individual often pale against the capabilities of the community. Strive to tame the wilds in the name of civilization and defend the points of light and order against the chaos of darkness. And uphold the revere the spirit of invention. Create new settlements, build where inspiration strikes, and expand the edicts of the lawbearer. You'd also know that there's a holy day for the Lawbearer called Civilization's Dawn, which is celebrated on the autumnal equinox, which is pretty fucking soon. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I also realised I bought a magnifying glass twice because I must have bought the same thing twice.
I feel free to refund it or whatever.
Yeah. She wouldn't have brought. I was just working out what she brought with her and what she didn't.
Yeah, if you wanted to make your way inside Blossom after dancing with the protesters for a while, you could.
Sure.
Yeah, they'd probably give
Just
you like
get
some
rid of some of-
weird looks like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And sort of like just walk off inside.
Right now, goodbye.
We lost him, Deirdre. And you'd make your way inside, and you could try and sell anything you wanted to, or
Just sell my crap that's getting in my way.
Yeah.
I got leather armor. How much does that go for?
leather armor would.
Have we been doing it right? It's half. It's always,
It's always
half when
half
it's
to
half.
sell.
Because
Yeah,
I think in my campaign I didn't do that.
yeah. So it's 5 gold pieces for leather.
5. Okay.
We just got a lot of money in Waterdeep, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, reckon it is.
we were fucking rich. in
What
that
about a
day.
rapier? What about that?
A rapier would be worth about 12 gold pieces.
Okay. What about a short bow?
Short bow. About 12 gold pieces as well.
Okay. What about what about Oh, I have a flawed ruby, which I've written on here as costing 75 gold.
He wouldn't buy it from you, but he'd direct you to the jeweller's shop, the Sparkle Sisters.
Okay.
He says, I have no use for jewels and the like.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, Gertrude, before she went into the shop, would have asked if Tyrion wanted to sell anything because she knows he doesn't want to go into the shop.
Oh. I've been browsing my inventory. Furion would tell her that there's really nothing for him to sell.
Or buy?
He's a thrifty boy. I've had a little bruise. I don't think so, really. No, he's very content. He might wander into the leatherworkers, just have a look around. But shopping wise, otherwise, I think he's pretty set.
Yeah, if you guys do want to split up or anything whilst you're shopping, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell my ruby.
Yeah, Furion will go to the leatherworkers.
Okay, we'll cut to Firion then. And what does Gertrude want to do after? Is she gonna go with
Gertrude.
Blossom to the Sparkle Sisters, or is she gonna?
While Blossom goes to the Sparkle Sisters, she would have given her one of the opals.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gertrude wants the opals just for the opals, but she would have given Blossom that one that she mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she can sell that as well while she's there.
Okay.
And where did you want to go, Gertrude?
There was there's a leather shop, there's a blacksmith.
There's a bookshop, there's an apothecaries, a boa/Fletcher, a tailoring shop, and there's the Golden Games, which Nilcaster's shop.
I think she would have said like maybe I'll do stuff, and then when you're all done, let's go see Nilcast in his shop.
Yeah.
To Firion and Blossom, because just to thank him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to go before there, Gertrude?
She'd go to the bookshop, I suppose.
Okay. We'll do Firion first. So Firion, you, I assume, transform back from your spider form into...
Indeed.
So you make your way across to a leatherworking shop, which immediately on the side you see there's a number of seamstresses, and there's like sort of big sort of sewing machines, and a number of different women circulating around with a sort of central, like, older woman, very very skinny, like curly kind of afro-y style hair, like grey hair, with a big like red apron and sort of light brown kind of like clothes underneath that are very kind of like makeshift patchworky. She seems immediately very fucking stressed. She's just like running around, and she's like, no, you're not doing this right, you're not doing this right, you've got to make sure it's exactly this amount. And they're like, yes, Miss Delphine. And they're all just, you could see like all the sweat, you almost like just like in the air, just taste the sweat, beads of sweat running down the faces of all these different people. And as soon as you sort of enter, she kind of like almost like a bird, like her neck kind of swings round in your direction and gives you these like evil eyes and kind of marches in your direction and is like, I'm very busy, what did you want to buy?
Hello.
Tyrion just walks out.
He was very tempted. I was wondering if you had any sheaths for daggers specifically.
Yes, we have plenty of sheaves. Just to let you know, prices are double at the moment.
I just wanted to look at them.
Fine. She like pulls out a number of different sort of sheaths for daggers, and they're like 10 gold pieces each.
Nods slowly. And just like looks them up and down, kind of looking for some tips for his own work.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe 30 seconds, awkward seconds later, he's like, thank you for your time. Druid crafts a little flower and leaves it on the countertop and then leaves.
She just like kind of like throws her hands up in the air and is like, I can't stand people! Get back to work!
Yeah, he leaves.
Yeah.
And like, as he gets outside, he's like, ooh.
Do a quick insight check for me, Firion.
Of course.
Yeah, you
Dirty 20.
definitely get the impression that like maybe they seemed like particularly overworked. Do you think maybe with the war going on, they might have like extra like conscripted to do extra services for the army and whatnot, especially in a place like Nogvarot?
Confirion, because I've realised I've got 40 pounds of cured leather.
Yeah.
Could Firion think about how much he's going to need for Blossom's dagger sheath?
£40. Oh god, I don't know anything about leather.
Yeah, I don't either. But I imagine for a dagger sheath, it's probably not that much,
No,
right?
I
Maybe
can't imagine.
£5 or something.
Yeah, probably.
So he's gonna just take the remaining £35, leave it in a little pile outside the door of the shop, and Druid craft another little flower and put it on top of it and walk away.
That's very sweet. I like that. Point of inspiration for that.
Yeah.
That's very sweet.
5. Cool. And he'll look for Gertrude and Blossom and get back to them.
Okay. Meanwhile, Blossom heads over to the Sparkle Sisters, which immediately you see, Blossom, you're quite impressed actually. It's got a big glass sort of case in the window with fantastic jewels and gems and necklaces, earrings and all kinds of lovely different items you might find in such a place. The sign itself is like almost like it's been like painted with fireworks. It's just so sparkling and beautiful, and even the frame and the frame of the lettering and of the sign itself is all kind of like sparkling, like with sort of jewels that have been sort of stuck to the front of it all the way round. It's it just sort of twinkles before you as you make your way inside. You're immediately met it's very quiet inside. It's not particularly busy in here. You see there's 2 tiefling women. One has kind of more orangey kind of skin, like still shades of red, of course, but she's got slightly lighter and kind of more orangey. Whilst the other one has got sort of like again red, but kind of like almost like hints of like a darker reddy, like almost like even crossing maybe into green, slightly between red and green, that kind of color. And they are incredibly beautiful, both of them. One of them is quite short, maybe 5'6", while the other stands maybe like 5'11", maybe quite tall. She and immediately, like, one of them is kind of like working. They've got this like jewel, this diamond, like strapped in between this like equipment that's sort of securing it, and one of them is kind of like cutting and like sort of shaping the gem and kind of observing it with like a magnifying glass and stuff. And as you walk in, they sort of perk up, and they're both like, "Oh, hello! You are so beautiful."
Oh my god, yeah. It is really pretty in here. Sparkles like the fireworks in Hopperduke.
Oh, that's really the kind of aesthetic we were going for, actually, and I'm really appreciative you would notice such a thing. It's so lovely to a customer with hard times with the war. It's not many people are looking, to get gems and jewels and other jewellery. My name's Jade, by the way, and this is my sister Amber. And Amber kind of like looks up and says, "Oh, hello, it's nice to meet you." Can I just say that I think you really look good in these? And she like sort of scampers off, and she comes back with a set of these beautiful earrings and a necklace that matches. And she says, I really think this would suit you so much.
Oh my god, it probably would. But she like holds one flawed ruby in one hand and the opal in the other hand. She's like, but I'm meant to just sell things, not buy things.
That's a shame. I mean, we can take any gems off your hands, but it'd be such a shame to, let such beauty. It just feels like destiny, just coming together. You're far from a flawed gem yourself. I think you're, I don't mean to, to overstate myself too much, but I really think you're just so fabulously beautiful, and I really think that, I really think this particular set it completes the look. It really does.
Or maybe you're right. What about if we swap this one for this one and that one for that one?
How much does it say how much they're worth, Hannah?
Well, the flawed ruby is 75.
75.
I don't know how much an opal is.
I think it's 500, right, Kieran? Does it say on your character sheet?
1,000 each.
1,000, damn.
Yeah.
She would say how much is her thing. It would be 150 and 100, 150. Certainly. The necklace and together with the earrings all together would come to a total of 350 gold pieces. But I could give you 750 back for the opal.
Okay. What colour is the jewellery she's trying to give her?
It'll be like a deep kind of pinky red colour.
Oh my god, it's so good. Is it in the shape of a firework?
Yes, it would be in the shape of a firework. It would be very kind of like explosive and very...
Oh my god.
It almost like looks, as you look into the jewel blossom, it like almost, you look very closely and it kind of just looks like, you can just see like a little firework like over and over again, like some kind of enchantment that she's put into the jewel that just makes it do this like pew, pew effect.
Oh my god. what about dagger one? Have you got a dagger shaped one?
Yeah, I've got a necklace with a dagger on the end.
Oh my god, how much is that one?
I've got lots of different gems to combine it with as well. We've got a ruby encrusted dagger, we've got a sapphire encrusted dagger, we've got and so on and so forth.
Oh my god. How many daggers do you have?
Well, we've got about 5 different gems in total.
Oh my god. What about have you got any jewellery with spiders on them?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh my god.
It's like the magic beans. It's like the magic beans.
The necklaces are 150 gold pieces each, and we've got some like dreamcatcher style earrings, are very much with the spider motifs, that might suit you. That would go anywhere from about 200 gold pieces.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
Or if you're looking for something a bit more magical, well, I have some. We enchant a lot of our items. You see, there's a lot of people who, especially in these times, who are hoping to attract the, the different, soldiers who might be going to war and looking for, different things, like good enchantments that might keep them lucky in battle. We've got I've got a brooch of shielding, for example. I've got a medallion of thoughts.
Oh, what does that do?
Natalie,
To make you think really hard.
Let me quickly get both of them up for you so I can not misspeak. So I vaguely remember. But, the brooch of shielding, it makes you more resistant to being slammed. It basically gives you a resistance to force damage and immunity to damage from the magic missile spell.
Okay.
And the Medallion of Thoughts, it has. She'd explain this to you in in more or less. She'd actually show you it. It's like a skull shape with a. In fact, I'll just post the picture. It's like a skull, golden skull with almost like its brain showing and little ruby eyes and lots of little gems around it. She'd explain to you that you can. It's 3 charges, and while wearing it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast a Detect Thought spell, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
Wait a minute, so I can read people's minds?
You can, yes. It's quite impressive.
Oh, that's really good.
Originally, it's a personal kind of favourite, and I'm quite proud of that particular one myself. The idea was, maybe it's a bit lewd, but lovers who are coming together, how people do, and we wanted to make it so 2 lovers could possess a medallion each, and they could read each other's thoughts and how much they really loved and cared about each other. It's just a silly little thing, I know, but I like to put a lot of myself into my work, and if I ever meet the one, then maybe.
Well, that's a good way to use it, but you know what's a better way to use it?
Oh, go on.
To spy on baddies.
Well, that is certainly an option you could consider. I mean, it's 500 gold pieces, so it's not cheap, but...
Oh my gosh. Can I get that one, and the dagger, and the spider, and the fireworks?
Well, in total, that'll be... let me just work it out. The dagger would be 150. The fireworks would be 200. So that takes you up to 350. 500 from Danny and Thoughts. That's 850. And then you wanted one more, correct? It was another necklace. I'll say 1,000 gold pieces for all.
Oh my gosh, I can get all this good stuff, and I can... Maybe Gertrude will be angry at me, though. And then she looks over to the table full of glistening jewellery and items. She's like, yeah, but Gertrude, I want you. I can't. Sorry, Gertrude. I want all of it.
I'm sure they'll understand once they see you in your... You just look so fabulous.
I know, especially this firework one is amazing.
It's really quite something, isn't it? Amber's so proud of that one. That's her line of specialty.
Oh, it's really pretty.
Well, can I pack them up for you? Or do you want to wear them now?
I'm going to wear them now. You got to wear all these things all at the same time.
Okay, well, fantastic. Let's get you all let's all get you dolled up.
You just come striding back out the shop, fucking blinged up.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah,
I actually thought something Gertrude wants to do instead of going to the bookshop.
Yeah, you can do
Ooh.
an extra thing if you want to.
She'd rather do it while no one else is around, so she'd definitely do it before going to the bookshop.
Yeah, that's fine. You'd have more than enough time to do multiple things, I imagine. Blossom especially taking quite some time, and I imagine maybe even Virion would, maybe had to build himself up to going in a shop.
Yeah, definitely.
So where do you want to go before the bookshop, Gertrude?
She wants to go out of the crowd, so it's not very noisy.
Yes.
She wants to use her Age of Arcanum sending stone to to talk with her sister.
Oh, shit. Okay. What do you initially say? I say that how it works is you initially send the 25-word spending spell, and then the ritual kicks in, and then once she replies, the contact is made.
She's like, Hedwig is Gertrude. Don't be afraid. I found a magic stone that, we can probably talk together this way. So, if you're not busy, please pick up, or, send me a message back.
There's a small, gap of silence before eventually you just hear, God, I haven't practiced her voice in a while. I was practicing it ages ago. She goes, "Oh, sister, it's most lovely to hear from you. But I don't know how a magic stone works exactly, but, it's absolutely most lovely to hear from you. How are you?"
We've just got to Novgorod, so we're going to stay here for a few days, and then we should be coming to you in... How long would it take? Like a week?
Probably about 3 days to get to Rexentrum, I think.
So maybe like 7-8 days it might get to her.
Yeah, let me double check for you quickly.
Depending how long we stay here, basically.
Yeah. It is about 150 miles to Rexentrum, so 30... about 5 days actually, travel with 30 a day. So...
Yeah, she'd be like, probably be with you in about 8 to 10 days' time.
You would know that Hazel Festival is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 10 days away, so you could leave 5 days before then. If you wanted to arrive at the Hazel Festival, you'd have to leave 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, on Civilization's Dawn actually, so on the 22nd. So you've got today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 days to stay in Novgorod.
Okay. She'd give her a, sort of time, we're on our way, we're coming.
Yeah. Oh, this is most lovely to speak with you again, sister. And I do at utmost look so much forward to seeing you once more, especially in the city of Rexentrum. And sister, I have the most lovely news to share with you as well. Are you free?
No. Yeah, that's why I called you.
Oh, most lovely. Well, I've met someone.
Okay. Are
He's...
they, do I need to know anything about them? Or will I just see when I get there?
Well, he is very handsome. He's most lovely. And, well, he's he runs his own business. He's very, he's just lovely. He's really special. He's a human. I know, a bit different, but he's just so charming, and his name's Bredgick. I can't wait for you to meet him.
Would Gertrude be used to her having two boyfriends or not?
I think not boyfriends, more like flings. She's very non-committal, Hedwig.
Yeah.
So to her, to even like to tell you about someone and act like quite serious is probably like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah, she'd be a bit taken aback. He's like, well, have you found an inn for us to stay in, or maybe we can meet there, and I can meet this new man of yours.
Oh, that would be most lovely, dear sister. Well, as we originally agreed on in our letter that we shared, we will be staying at the Roaring Donkey Inn in the Tangles district.
That's perfect. I'm bringing 2 of my own friends. Well, actually 4 of my own friends with us. So,
I cannot wait to meet them. It will be most lovely. You can meet Bredgick, and I can meet your friends, and it will be the most lovely day.
I thought I'd just give you a warning, but I'll see you soon. The stone doesn't last that long. Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear sister. Have a most lovely time.
Big Gertrude just do the D&D version of "Shh, I'm breaking up. Shh,
Exactly.
going into a tunnel."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so after that, God, I did not expect to get to play Hedwig so soon. Exciting. So did you want to make your way to the bookshop after that conversation, Gertrude?
Yeah, I think so.
So you make your way inside. It's a very small bookshop. It's quite a tight building, very narrow, but some not particularly long, maybe 20 feet, 25 feet back. It's very much like almost a more compact, tight version of Waterstones in Eastbourne. It's very much got books, shelves lining every wall, and there's kind of like little kind of almost like reading areas with like stacks of bookshelves together at the back that kind of form little kind of like almost like little tunnels you can make your way in at the back and kind of sit down, and they've got little benches in them where people can sit down and read in the back. There would be a halfling woman, sort of middle-aged, who's kind of sitting there, and there would be a few other customers kind of making their way around. The halfling woman kind of looks up, and she just sort of greets you, just sort of like, "Good day."
Hello. You don't have anything on arcane agriculture, do you?
Oh, I'm not certain.
I would look myself, but
Let me have a quick browse through our feel free to have a browse, and I'll be back with you in a few moments. So we'll have to check our registry, as it were. So as she sort of goes off, and she's sort of like, she's looking through like different categories in her like big register of what books she's got. You see a number of different titles around, and it mostly seems, oddly enough, Gertrude, from your passive perception, you notice that there's not an awful lot of sort of books of a more intellectual nature in here. For all you can really spot is more like fiction books. There's just there's not even the sections aren't really like labeled into different things. It's just like this version, this genre of fiction, this genre of fiction, this genre of fiction. There's lots of. It doesn't seem like there's, like I said, that many books of a more intellectual nature that might strike your fancy so much. She'd even call up to you as she's sort of going in the registry. She's like, "I'm so sorry, but many of the more books of this kind of nature you're more likely to find at the archive. I'm afraid I can't see anything."
That's okay. Do you have any children's books?
Oh yes, we have Snow Dwarf and the Seven Whites.
Is there anything more dagger based.
Oh, dagger! We went To Kill a Manticore is a classic, of course.
What's the reading level of that one?
It's a young adult.
Ooh.
Might need a bit simpler.
Well, we of course have the classic children's book, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Ah,
How much is that?
That would be. Let me quickly look at my book prices. That'd be 25 gold.
Yeah, Gertrude'd be like trusted brother of my with that. I'll give her a little bit as a thank you present.
She'd also say, and if well, for yourself, if you there is the most popular book right now, 50 Shades of Fey.
I'll be alright.
For of course last year's classic, The Lusty Lizard Folk Maid.
hey.
I mean, no, I'll be okay. I didn't know you had an erotic section here. And she'd like quickly like blush and be like, "Thank you."
Oh, no problem. Have a lovely day.
And she'd go wait by Nilcast's shop.
Yeah. So you'd eventually reconvene and you'd find yourselves Firion probably would be first to arrive, I think, and then Gertrude not long after, then finally followed by Blossom, who is blinged out as fuck. Immediately, Gertrude, you see that Blossom is just like wearing these beautiful sparkling earrings and necklaces and this this amulet as well.
You can look at everyone how pretty this stuff is. And she sort of holds it out to everyone and shows everyone.
Ah, that's nice, Blossom. Did you do you have any left over for the demo?
No. But it's really pretty. Look at it. Look at this one. It sparkles with the fireworks in the middle. You got to look at it really close.
Just kind of. Well, do you have your 333 gold, Blossom? I've got mine and Firion share here towards getting demo back.
Wait, where would we have got 300 gold? Okay.
She's saying,
Like-
Well,
She just means to raise the 1,000 gold.
yeah.
Oh, right. No, I've got 30.
So instead of
Gertrude, I don't know about you, but I have to say I was quite surprised to find out Blossom was so quick to trade in Demo for a shiny jeweled dagger.
No. I mean, it's really pretty, but no,
Oh.
damn I.
I thought Blossom had more of a connection with Demo, but clearly she's just
No.
got eyes for the shiny gemstones.
Don't listen to you, Gertrude. Damn I really want it back. I also want this stuff.
Well, I mean, if you're going to spend your demo money on other daggers, I guess we should spend our demo money on other stuff too, and we can just say goodbye to Demo. Now you've got better Demo, red Demo. Can you feel the teaching job coming through? Can you feel it?
Hold on.
You break Hannah, Tom.
Can't explain how much I want the art of Blossom all blinged up
There's Blossier blue cheese as well.
with a little
With
pimpin'
all
ain't
of it.
easy being at the bottom.
Have you ever heard Hannah laugh this much from D&D?
Rude would be like, "It's okay, Blossom. You can just give me your share when we get the money, okay? And you can keep them."
Yeah, I really do want Demo back, yeah. So, don't listen to Fury, I really do. As you know, but this one will do some good, shiny damage.
But as long as we agree, those, and she points at those lovely necklaces, they're your reward in advance of doing the job, okay?
Okay. Demo will be rewarding himself, I suppose.
Me and Firion will get the reward, and you get Demo back, and those lovely. And she gestures at them.
They are rather lovely.
They
Did
are.
I show you this one? It sparkles with fireworks in there. She shows you the same one again.
I actually got you something, Blossom, for selling my opal for me. And,
Oh yeah? What is it?
she'd hand her the book, which I imagine's quite simple.
Mm-hmm. Very
I
simple.
thought you were getting better at reading, so I bought you this.
Oh. Well, thank you guys for it. I didn't do anything, but thank you though. Did she open it? Can she read it? How complex is it?
It's like a proper children's book. It's like I said, it's called One Flew Over the Kenku's Nest, and it's about the little Kenku who learned to fly, and it's like then it's very like picture based, and there's like a little pitch for baby Kenku who's like waddling about and then trying to fly out of the tree but keeps falling and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I really like it, Gertrude. These pictures are really good. She's not even reading it, she's just looking at all the pictures.
That's okay, Blossom. Well, you enjoy the reward now. We'll just do the work later, okay?
Okay. Also, I did get this as well. And she shows them the was it Medallion of Thoughts? Medallion of Thoughts. And we could maybe try and be sneaky on the baddies down there.
Can Gertrude recognise what it is?
I think easily, Gertrude. It's not a particularly rare item. I think you'd instantly recognise it as a Medallion of Thoughts.
That's quite good, right?
Yeah, you'd be able to cast Detect Thoughts 3 times a day, which you know is a pretty good spell.
She'd look at Blossom. She'd be like, "Well, Blossom, maybe you can catch people off guard with this, and maybe even tell them what they're thinking. But maybe let's not do that until we're down in the place."
Okay. Maybe this one can be hidden in my top. But she tucks it in to the collar.
Until we're down there, well, you can wear it around the town, Blossom, but if we go back to that place and you're just blinged out like you are now, he's going to wonder how much we sold.
Well, you could just, we could say we found it on the floor. Yeah, he'll believe that, I think.
He looks at Varian.
Blossom.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be extra special to, like when a butterfly flaps its wings and you see the beautiful colours on the inside, but the dull brown on the outside is there to keep the butterfly safe from birds that would eat it if it showed off its colours all the time.
Mm.
Maybe to stop you getting eaten, could conceal the shiny trinkets just while we're near predators.
So she looked a bit worried when you said eaten. She's like, "We gonna get eaten down there?"
There might be a giant bird that looks for shiny things to eat.
Oh my god, I don't know where you learned that, but that's really scary. I don't really want to get eaten by a big bird. Mm, okay, well, I guess I'll keep them hidden for now. But as long as you guys know they're there, then you can imagine the sparkliness. She like tucks them all away, hidden.
Okay, so you.
Peter?
Oops, sorry.
Much better. Thank you, Blossom.
Okay. Well, I get them out when we leave, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So you heading inside Golden Games?
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Move you over. So you're instantly greeted to the sight of a familiar face as Nilkas stands at the end of a counter in a beautiful, like, large open room with a sort of door to the side, and it's got all kinds of different like. The room doesn't exactly capture it, but to the room to the side of this on the right, there would be like a big selection of different kind of carnival games here. And Nilkas would instantly recognize you, like, friends! It's so good to see you back. I'm finally back in my element. How did your trip to the Crick Kicking Dive go?
It was alright. There was a big guy there. He was kind of horrible. It was lots of money for demo. But yeah.
Oh, well. A shame you could always spend some of your hard-earned money in old Nilkas's shop.
Okay. What have you got?
Well, I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of fun and games within the Golden Games. We have, of course, the ring toss, and he kind of like shows you as like he goes into the next room, and like these different, he like pulls this lever, and all these different like sort of things start moving around. There's like different bits of wood and kind of contraptions start moving around to like, and then suddenly these like different things like pop out of the floor, these different like poles, and a little section next to him, kind of like the wall kind of comes up, and it like pushes out like a box full of different rings, and he's and you can see that on the end of these different sort of poles, there's like these little like bunny-like creatures, like little wooden statuettes of these little like cute bunny-like creatures with horns, like a unicorn. And he says, well, in the ring toss, you get 3 rings, and you have to toss it on the Almirage's horn.
Oh, okay.
We also have Catch the Dragon by the Tail, and he pulls another lever, and this like it moves a bunch of things around the room again, and suddenly, like from out the back, there comes this like almost like a like paper kind of crafted like fairy dragon that kind of flies down and then sort of flies around in sort of circles, and it says you've got 3 chances to catch the dragon by the tail, and if you do, you win.
I think I can do that one.
We've also got let me introduce. Pulls the lever again, and everything's like the wood starts falling down, and up from below kind of comes up this little kind of like wrestling ring, and he says, strong folks, test your mettle in a goblin wrestle, and this little kind of goblin climbs out, and he's like, right, ready to fight.
Amazing.
We got a few others as well. As he pulls the lever again, and the goblin kind of says, for fuck's sake, and like then lowers the ring back down into the floor, and this time the back section of the wall kind of opens up, and there's this big like steps forward, this big like burly fellow, who is wearing a mask of a cyclops on his face. Him himself, you probably reckon he's like a half orc or something. And he says, "I'm the cyclops." And he says, "What do you do when the eye of the cyclops falls upon you? You stare right back if you've got the stamina. If you can outstare him and who blinks first, then, well, you'll win a prize." And then finally, pulls the lever again and says, "Birds of a feather, how about feathers of a bird? Step right up and guess how many feathers festoon this fiendish fowl." And you see that rising up, this time from below, instead of the wrestling ring, it's like a small little table with a bird cage on it that has this... see if you can do nature check to see if you know what this is.
Ian's gonna be talking to this bird real soon. Nature. 14.
Feeling you probably wouldn't know. What did Gertrude roll?
Ooh,
Plus, nature check to see what this creature is. I think Gertrude and Blossom would know that this is an abyssal chicken. It's not really a bird, it's more like some kind of demonic fiendish creature. However, this particular abyssal chicken is adorned with feathers that look like they've been glued onto it. It kind of like crashes against the cage and is just like making horrible noises, and he's like, "Oh, quiet you." Any of the games take your fancy?
I want to do one of everything.
Well, it will take some time. It will be it's 5 gold to enter, and if you happen to win, you get your money back doubled. And you also, well, you can get that, or you can see if you want any of the carnival prizes instead.
Carnival prizes?
They're very special, but I won't reveal.
Oh, I'm so curious.
Well, that's what makes them so very special. They spark your curiosity. In fact, since you were such good friends to me on the road, I will let you all have a free game.
Oh,
I don't think I would have made it here without you, so you take your choice.
I want to catch the dragon.
Very well.
And he pulls down the levers again, and things fold out, and the little sort of little bit of section of wall falls down that's like sort of 10 feet up, and it kind of like a little trapdoor, and the little paper fairy dragon starts kind of flying around the room again.
Are you ready?
She gets in a little ready stance. I'm ready. What? Do I just need to catch it?
Well, there's a special thing, actually.
And he kind of reaches behind, and he puts a blindfold on you, and he says, it's not quite that easy. The dragon will fly around in a circle around you, but you've got to catch it based using your wits alone.
Well, I have good wits.
Can you you get 3 chances for this. You've got to make a perception check. The DC to catch the tail is an 18.
Okay. So how many? Just one?
Yeah, 3 attempts in total.
Okay. Just a perception check, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not quite there, unfortunately.
Oh, I missed.
But the second time, you sort of you really focus inward, Blossom, and you just sort of listen to the sound of this fluttering paper around you, and then you just grab out, and then you grab the tail, and you pull it, and it lets out this noise, and then explodes in a huge shower of confetti just falling over you.
Oh my god!
And he's like, it looks like we have a winner. That will be 5 gold to you, Missy, or would you like to roll on the carnival table?
I want a prize. Definitely a prize.
Okay, can you roll a d8 for me then?
2.
Oh, well, this is very special, this one. You get The Wand of Prestidigitation.
It's a wooden
my
wand
God.
with 8 charges. As an action, you can expend one of the wand's charges to cast Prestidigitation cantrip. The wand can't be
Oh my
recharged.
Hang on, let me add it.
What about you, Mr. Firion? I can see you eyeing a lot of things here.
Did Firion recognize that the chicken was fiendish?
What did you roll? 14.
Oh, yeah,
I think fiend. You didn't know exactly what the creature was, but you recognised it was probably fiendish. Yeah.
So I won't be able to talk to it then. But he's interested in guessing the number of feathers. Guessing the feathers, please.
Very well. And he pulls the lever, and the bird cage comes up from the floor again on the little table. For this one, you have to make a so he's on a DC 18 intelligence check. Guesses correctly, and if you win, you get if you guess correctly, you get either 5 gold, or you can roll on the carnival prizes table, or if you guess it first time, you get 2 rolls on the prizes table.
Well, watch this, because I'm about to guess it first time. Oh, damn it.
Not quite.
He's like, oh, it's a bit off, I'm afraid. Getting close, though.
And then the second time you do, so you could either take 5 gold from Nilcast for your free game, or
Roll.
a D8, please.
Boo. 1.
1. Please, can you roll me a D100?
Oh, yes. 81.
D1. It's quite nice actually. He pulls out this little pouch of seeds, and he says, whenever you want a whiff of home, just smell in here. And it's a pouch of seeds that always smell like your home, no matter where you're from.
Oh.
So you smell into their Firion, and you can describe to me the kind of smell you think Firion might smell.
So, where's Firion's home?
That's a good question.
His home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would he wouldn't smell Sparkler Base, nor would he smell the building that he used to live in.
Mm-hmm.
But he would smell wet soil and dense forest around him, and the smell of animal trails nearby, and just a blend of different deep forest smells that would remind him of the place he would go to when he was unhappy or stressed in the place he used to live.
Yeah.
Which he takes a big breath of it and gives a warm smile to Nilcast. Thank you.
You're most welcome, friend. And what about you, Miss Von Tillage?
Points at the goblin.
Yes.
Very well.
She pulls the thing, the wrestling, like the feathers, the Bissell chicken goes back down the floor, and then rising up from the floor is this huge wrestling ring. The goblin stands up again from his little seat in the corner and is like, "Who wants to fucking fight?"
Well, we'll see if you're as tough as you make out, little man. Even though she's probably smaller.
No one's as strong as Gobbo the Magnifico.
Yes.
So, a small participant has to pin this goblin, while a medium participant has to pin one goblin while wrestling 2 of them, according to this. So you'd be a small participant. So winning the game requires a successful athletics check contested by the goblin. And you
Can she
re-roll
do
ties.
acrobatics instead? Because she does have squat nimbleness.
I would allow that, yeah. That's totally fair.
Interesting. Just imagining Gertrude seeing this goblin as Blossom for her to work her anger out at.
feel free to roll.
Oh no! Oh wait! Oh shit! Oh, it's still not great.
10. Let me quickly find a goblin stats. Oh, sorry, my voice is dying tonight.
This goblin just lives in Nilgas's floor. That's so good.
Goblin.
Just chain smoking. It's a tough life.
A strength check. The goblin who rolls a 18. I turn it off, GM. The whisper talk. There we go. So yeah, he's like, you don't stand a chance against me, missy.
No.
Want to try again? He's kind of moving his fist up in front of his face, like, you'll never get me.
So, she didn't have to pay for that one, right? Did she have to pay for this one?
Yeah, if you want to keep guessing, you would have to pay. Not guessing, playing. Fuck, my brain is so tired today.
She's pretty frustrated, so she'd go again.
Okay, roll another athletics check or acrobatics check for me. Let's see what you got, what it takes to beat Gobbo the Magnifico. No, you definitely do. As this time you run against the ropes and you hold your arm out. He kind of ducks under it, and he's like, "Oh!" Then you manage to spring back off the ropes and do like a backflip, and then get your elbow, and you just like charge into the back of his face as he comes running back into you off the other ropes, and you just hit him in the thing. And he's like, "Oh crap!" And then you go down 1, 2, 3, and you pin him for the victory.
Good job, Gertrude.
She's like, like anger.
You see he's got like a bloody nose, and he's like, "I want extra, boss." And kind of like retreats to the side, like, maybe next time. Very good, Miss Fontage, very good. Please, would you like 10 gold, or would you like to see what you get on the carnival prizes?
Let's go for the prizes.
Roll a D8 for me.
Mystery box every time.
3.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3 we've had.
You get a packet of pixie dust. As an action, you can sprinkle this dust on yourself or another creature you can see within 5 feet of you. The recipient gains a flying speed of 30 feet and the ability to hover for 1 minute. The creature is airborne when this effect ends. It falls safely to the ground, taking no damage and landing on its feet.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Very nice.
That could be really useful.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Well, can I interested in you playing any more, folks, or?
I want to do the staring contest, and that'll be the last one.
Of course.
And he pulls the lever, and you see the back part of the wall open up from the centre, and once more this big like half-orc hanging over the edge with this Cyclops mask on. He's like, "You'll never outstare the Cyclops."
I'm gonna try my best.
So, whoever blinks loses first. So to win the game, you must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution check.
Okay, a check or a save.
A check.
Hey.
Oh, not this time though. That would be 5 gold, by the way, to play again. It's,
It's fine.
Oh, better luck next time. It's just so difficult to outstare the Cyclops.
Hold on, I was as a warm up. Okay, I'll do this to go again.
Another 5 gold.
Oh, but this time you see the Cyclops slowly starts like his eyes just like watering and then shuts before yours. So it's like,
And this time, Mr. Guaca is the winner. Would you like 10 gold, or would you like the carnival prize?
I would prize. Definitely a prize.
roll a d8 for me. Shit, I closed it by accident. Ooh, whoops.
Should we re-roll ones we've done already, or
You can do, yeah.
well, depends on if it's the same.
Yeah, it's a re-roll of 1. Oh no, one is there. Roll a d100. Has lots of different results.
Oh, okay.
85. You get a sprig of rosemary wrapped with a ribbon at one end.
Oh. She gives it to Firion. It's a cute little plant.
Thank you, Blossom. This is
You
Oh,
could use it for warding off a disease. That's something.
yes.
Burn
It
it.
is. Can't think of the word. Prestigious. Oh. Fuck! What's the word when something like a
Can't think.
like a blessing, like a good
Oh.
thing in a religious way?
You
kind
mean
of-
like oh fuck.
Yeah. And you say like,
Providence.
huh?
Providence.
Yeah, kind of. Like, the word I keep getting in my head is ostentatious, which obviously isn't it. But you're like, this is a something day, a blessed, like.
I don't know.
No.
What?
Everyone's throwing words at me and none of them are right, but close. Anyway, Miriam would be like, this is great, Blossom, thank you.
That's okay, you know, I want it and I thought of you, you know.
Would you like a seed?
What do you do with a seed apart from plant the seed?
It smells like my home.
Oh.
Vicious.
It smells like your home. Yeah, I want to try it.
So to you,
You
Blossom.
may have a proper smell.
So when
Yeah.
Firion opens the packet and lets you have a smell, it does not smell like Firion's home. It smells like your home. So whatever that might
please.
smell like.
It smells really bad, Firion. You know, if this is your home, it's pretty bad. You know, it's pretty, yeah.
Well,
Kind of reminds me of my home, you know. Kind of reminds me of my brothers, you know.
oh. Well, each to their own, I suppose. And Anya got it. It's auspicious. That's what I was thinking.
You might want to get, you know, maybe someone to clean your house, Firion, if this is your house, what it smells like.
Can I smell it, Firion?
Please.
And it would smell like your home, Gertrude.
Yeah, which would be like dried herbs and
Yeah.
baked goods.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about, Blossom? It smells great.
Oh, it smells really bad.
Smells
Really
like it smells like rosemary and thyme and cinnamon and
No, I don't know what you're smelling, but you know, this one smells like, you know, moldy feet and cheese and dirt and dust and yeah, rot.
You know what they say,
Roll.
each in the eye of the beholder, or the nose of the beholder. Did beholders have noses? No, I don't know.
And also some really dirty socks that are kind of sticky.
Varian holds up the sprig of rosemary to Gertrude. Would you like this?
yeah, sure. And she'd take it.
Yeah, it's over.
Any more games, or are we all gamed out for today?
Oh, I kind of gamed out today, I think. Maybe tomorrow?
You're
Yeah, we have a more
always welcome in Nilkas's Golden Games.
we have a more esoteric task next.
I don't know what that
Okay.
means, but I'm sure you'll have fun.
How did you meet your goblin employee?
Well, it's quite the story. I was traveling close to the Ashkeeper Peaks, I can't talk today. Ashkeeper Peaks, and, he was just kind of sitting there. And I thought, well, I'll put him to work.
An interesting attitude to have for a stranger.
Yes, he was just laying there in the rocks. He had, some kind of spyglass on him, and, I don't know what he was doing. He He looked like he was camping.
If you were naked like you were before, maybe you're spying on you.
Well, perhaps, who wouldn't want to spy on these gorgeous locks?
I mean, not me.
You'll all be happy to know, by the way, that Jessica is doing just fine, and he brings out their loot, and you can see it's all fixed and back to normal.
That's nice.
I
And
am
hopefully I'll get Demo back as well.
I'm sure you will. In a matter of time, all of us are to be reunited with the ones we love.
If the amount of money that Demo's having spent on him, he's going to be a relic soon.
Oh, he's already a relic. A good little relic. What? Hang on, what's a relic, Gertrude?
Something people will talk about in the future. They won't be talking about the Spar Killers, they'll be talking about the Odyssey of Demo.
I like that. Might have to make a song about that. The Odyssey of Demo.
Don't do it until we've got him back.
Well, you can start it now, though. I want to hear it.
I'll come up with something. I suppose I'll hopefully be seeing you at the final Siegeable game of the season tomorrow?
I hope so.
Well, it's should be quite the interesting one, although rumours I've heard, it seems the Fennel fighters might pull out. Might not be able to field a full team, the rumour is.
When do they... What? How many players are missing?
Well, Dungrot mainly. He's looks like he's out. Rest of the season's only one game, but rest of the season he's not going to be able to compete. And well, to be honest, the rest of them, without Dungrot, I think you probably. I mean, I think I'm better than Dale Melton. Let's put it that way.
How far away is Rock and Rolls?
Oh, it's across the marketplace.
Guys, we've got to go see this before. They can't not win.
A loss would mean they would be, unfortunately, eliminated.
Plus, we can grab lunch and then we can go to the archive and then we can go do the other stuff. I gotta.
Okay.
Sounds good to me, Gertrude.
Should we go and see if we can fix the sandwich?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Surely we don't need the sandwich until we leave.
Well, you should get it fixed though, right?
If you would like, Miss Thugwacker, I could speak to the stables and see what they are willing to do. Whilst
Would that be a good idea, Snoop?
considering I do not need food to maintain myself.
She's still sad, by the way.
He kind of looks at you and says, "It is what it is. I could meet you at the archive afterwards."
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea, Snooper. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Miss Von Tillage. I will make haste. And he kind of readies himself and turns back to you, Blossom, and does a little pose and then makes his way out.
She does the pose back. Bye, Snooper. See you later.
Yeah. Nuka was just foaming at the mouth at the mention of food.
Yeah, Gertrude would be like, "Come on, Blossom. There might be damp noodle at the Rock and Roll, so we better get going."
Good day, adventurers, the Sparklers. It is a pleasure to see you once more, and I hope to see you back within the Golden Games.
Got any okay?
Gobbo Magnifico wants his rematch.
We'll tell everyone about your business.
So you make your way out of Golden Gate. Thank God I don't have to listen to this fucking music anymore. Should not have picked this song. You make your way across the marketplace and then find yourself outside the establishment known as Rockin' Rolls.
Looks nice.
So yeah, you see, it's quite a nice looking building. You can see on the inside, it looks like there's like a almost like a classic, almost like American-y style diner, with like a counter with loads of different baked goods as you make your way inside. The place is completely empty apart from a group of 5 individuals. Gertrude, you'd instantly recognise all of them, especially this huge half-orc man who's sitting in the back. Actually, is he half-orc or a full-orc? Let me double check. He's a half-orc, yeah. He's sitting right at the back, who's got his arm in like this massive sling. Seems to be quite like lacking mobility with it. Apart from that, you see there are 2 halfling folk, one very short, much shorter than you or Blossom, like an older halfling man with sort of dark hair but sort of going grey at the sides, with like a very long nose and a sharp chin. And you see there's a younger halfling next to him who's quite overweight, is very stout and has got like a afro-y style hair above him, who's a bit taller than both you and Blossom. There's also a oh, excuse me, fucking voice is so tired today. You see there's another halfling woman who's quite sort of very thin and quite beautiful. She's wearing like a leathery kind of style jacket that's got like fennel fighters, like a uniform underneath it. She sort of like seems quite bubbly and ready to go. And finally you see there's a bit of a large mountain of a man who's completely bald, who doesn't seem like he's got any hair on his entire body, who's got a dour and just miserable expression. You would recognise all these people, Gertrude, as the team known as the Fennel Fighters.
You would
Now reveal them. You would know the half-orc is a crispy dungrot. You would know that the 2 halfling men are Beedle and Weedle Sharpnose, father and son. You'd know that the woman is Eliza Bramblebelly, and finally the human is Dale Melton.
he would like, as they go in, she would like, they're in. Blossom, Lugoon, that's them. That's the Fennel Fighters.
Fennel Fighters?
Wait, hang on, does Blossom know who they are again? I forget.
Do a history check.
Okay.
Look colourful.
Yeah, you know they're a siege ball team, Blossom. You don't know much. You know they're not very good, and that's about it. Remember Neilcast talking about it?
Oh yeah, it's the team. What are they doing here?
Well, this is their this is like their hangout, I guess. I think Crispy Dungrot owns it, right?
You would do a history check yourself, actually, Gertrude, to see what you think.
Oh.
You would definitely know that Beedle Sharpnose owns the Rock and Rolls, and you, being quite a big follower of the Fennel Fighters, you'd know that he sponsored the team after they were quite a sort of mid-table-ish and sort of challenging for sort of 3rd place team maybe about 10 years ago, but the previous sponsor basically dropped out and was no longer looking to sponsor any teams, and he, like, Beedle came in as the Rockin', opening up the new bakery, the Rockin' Rolls, in Nogvarot, and took on the sponsorship and basically replaced half the players so that his son and him could play on the team, and basically ever since then they've been going slowly down in the table as they had to replace they replaced 2 other players, and basically Crispy Dungrot's the last player of that generation of the decent time the Fennel Fighters were decent, and yeah, they've ever since he's like been gradually replacing the team with like employees and stuff from the rock and rolls, and you'd know that like basically he's like petitioned to have their name changed to the rock and rollers. He like lathers their entire uniforms so Fennel Fighters is like barely a thing on their uniform, and rock and rolls advertisements are all over their uniforms. He's not a very popular figure. You see currently he's kind of like walking around the table, and he's kind of like giving the rest of them a lecture. You can overhear him like talking. He's like,
right, we've got to come up with a solution. Crispy, he can't compete. Look at him, and he
sort of punches him in the arm, and like you see Crispy Dungrot's like,
Ow, that really fucking hurt.
And he's like, yeah, damn straight, because you got your arm knocked out of its socket, and it's broken, and it's all ruined, and we're gonna... It's the worst day in the history of rock and rolls. How are we gonna compete?
Gertrude would appear out of nowhere. Almost.
Oh, a
By
customer.
providence.
Oh, welcome to Rock and Rolls. I'm Beadle Sharpnose, and if you're here to buy our delicious baked goods, then well, you've come to the right place.
I my friends are here to get food, but I just wanted to see the team.
Oh, of course you did. Yes, we're not only the home of delicious baked goods, we're also the home of the Fennel Fighters, the best team in all of the Siege Ball League.
Yeah, Gertrude does like a little clap and then looks at the other guys to see if they have a reaction.
Eliza would genuinely wave to you. Like Dale Melton just stares off into space. He's not even like looked at you. You see that Weedle's like behind the counter. His Beedle's son is just like filling his face with different baked goods.
I heard you had something wrong with your team, and there is a player who I think could help you.
Oh, go on. Yes, Crispy's pulled out his arm, so...
My friend Lugoom here is an expert. She points at Lugoom.
Do a persuasion check for Gertrude.
He's like, I'm not... What is that? Is that a fish or a person?
He's
No, he won't do. He's no good for the team's image. We can't replace Crispy Dungrot with fishy shit cakes.
He may be a shit cake, but he knows what he's doing.
He's got spirit.
Hang on. Logo, you didn't tell me you played Siege Ball before.
What's Siege Ball?
Oh.
Blip don't perp? Play Siege Ball?
She like gestures at Blossom, like, what about her? She could fill in for you.
Yeah, she's got more of the look, to be honest. Well, to be honest, because we're in a bit of a state, and without Crispy, I don't think we stand a chance at all, to be honest. I don't want to, put down the team or anything, but they're rubbish! You're all rubbish!
Oh, that's what I heard. I heard you're all rubbish too.
No, Blossom, they're great, and if you're on the team, you can make it even better. I mean, I would offer myself, but I can't be on the Fennel Fighters. They're too good.
Well, you all are quite an athletic bunch. I suppose if here's an idea.
Wait, Blossom, show me your bling. Show him the stuff you bought.
Oh yeah, look, it's amazing. She like starts pulling it out of her shirt and stuff, and she's like, "Look at this! It has little fireworks in the middle." Holds it up to his face.
Oh, it's very, very nice. But well, since you all seem like such dedicated Siege Ball fans, perhaps all three of you would like to play on the team. Anyone's got to be better than Dale.
Stay on the team?
Yes, we need a point to stay in the league. And if I don't stay in the league, then I don't get my sponsorship bonus from the league.
Oh.
Yes. She looks at Firion.
We only need a
She's like,
single point. You've just got to beat those idiots.
Do I have to touch the ball?
Wait, if we do it, will we get a free lunch?
I'll do you even better. If you can keep us... If you can win the big match against the Aegis Strikers, then I'll give you 100 gold pieces each.
What's the ball made of?
The what?
What's the ball made of?
It's made of... I don't know what it's made of.
It's not metal, is it?
No, it's leather,
She looks up at
I
Firion.
think.
He gives her a tiny little thumbs up.
Well, looks like our woes might have been solved then, everyone!
Wait a minute, what am I doing? Playing Siege Ball?
Yeah, you're gonna join the team! Look, I've got such a good mind for business and bringing in new players, and it's a perfect promotion strategy. I can say that you three are called what's a good word? The Rockin' Rolls reinforcements. We come to fight when we go down, and we won't go down without a fight, and that's why we bring the ultimate reinforcements in.
Gertrude looks at Blossom. She's like, you know how we're going after Demo, Blossom?
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of the same thing.
Oh.
But for me, I've always wanted to play Siege Ball, and I've always wanted to play for my favourite team, and this is the biggest opportunity I've ever had to do it, and...
Okay, so... I'm not even sure I know how to play Siege Ball, but what? But if we're signing you, we're part of a team, and we can win, and we can do it, and no, we can do it really well, I think. Yeah.
Boss! And Eliza puts her hand up and she's like,
What? Why are you speaking out of turn, girl?
And he's like, if they come tomorrow morning, if they never played before, then we could train before the game.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes. That sound good. Come tomorrow, train, and then play in the evening.
Okay.
Anyone's going to be better than these losers. You're rubbish, Dale. You're rubbish.
Gertrude's just like nodding, like at one of those, that nodding bird.
So I think, well, I'll be honest, I wanted the day off, so if me, Crispy, obviously, and Dale sit out, then you could have Weedle and Eliza on the team with you three. They'll show you the ropes. They're great players. They're really, really great. They're not great, they're shit. They're so shit.
Oh, it sounds great. But what time should we come tomorrow?
First thing, first light.
Yeah, first light would be good. As much practice as we can get in, really.
I did promise my friend here that you'd have Dramph Noodle. I don't know if you do, but...
Yes, of course we got Dramph Noodle. We got Dramph Noodle, we got Danishes, we've got all kinds of baked goods. You can eat for free.
Oh my god.
Well, not for free, it'll be a discount. Well, not really a discount, but you can just eat here and pay the normal prices.
Okay. Dramph Noodle times 4 for me.
Okay, that will be... A gold. A gold, yes.
Okay.
See, I knew we'd solve our issues, Weedle.
And he just like, whoa, and just like eating food.
Okay, so we play Siege Ball tomorrow. What about when are we going to go get Demo?
I'm gonna go get him tonight, Blossom.
Okay.
Are animals allowed to be on Siege Ball teams?
No, otherwise I would have hired a circus of trained pigs. Gotta be better than these shitholes.
See.
I'll register you with the league tonight, and then you can play in the morning. perfect solution. Perfect. The
Okay,
rock and
but you
rolls
got to-
reinforcements. You have no idea how good this is going to be for business.
Okay, but you gotta put my name down as Glossier Blue Cheese.
Glossier Blue Cheese, and what's your names? I've rushed into this decision. Don't make me question it. Don't have rubbish names. Glossier Blue Cheese is the perfect kind of alliteration you need in a name. A siege
Very
ball
good.
name.
Siege Ball.
Yeah, I like that name. Firian Siege Ball. He's got Siege Ball in the name. It's in his blood. He's ready to compete. You can't stop him. Look at his face. He's just... You can see the passion behind his eyes for the game. What about you?
Is the
Nice,
game
Gertrude.
played on a field
Yes, it's an arena down in the Aegis block.
with grass?
No, it's like sand or dirt. I don't know.
Oh.
Gertrude, goal scorer.
Oh yeah, love it. Right, I've written your names down. Right, perfect. See, Crispy, I told you I'd solve the problem.
And he's like, I don't know if you've really solved it just hiring 3 randoms off the street.
He's like, yes, I have, and next year, we're gonna go big. We'll beat the Aegis Strikers and the Kingsfoot. Fennel Fighters will be top of the league, and Rock and Rolls will be a big success.
One big
You say
success.
so.
Gertrude would be like going around trying to shake all their hands.
Yeah, they'd each shake your hand. Like Eliza's like, it's actually really exciting to play with some new players. Have you played before?
No, none of us have.
You look like you might pick it up quickly.
I know how it works, but I've never played on a full team before.
Well, she kind of looks a bit down and a bit disappointed. She's like, well, I suppose sometimes you've just got to go for a Hail Mary, right?
You should see Blossom when she gets going, and Firian, he may look calm, but he really releases it like an elemental force when he gets going, and then, I'm me, and she like swishes her cape about.
Oh, I can't wait to see you all in action. Hopefully it'll be fun at least.
Can't believe that's the real Crispy Dung Rock.
I know, right? He's my idol. Is why I joined the team in the first place. To be honest, I've always wanted to play with some different players. Dale and Weedle and Beedle don't really care about the game. Sounds like you do though, so sometimes passion's all you need, right? We can beat the Aegis Strikers, no problem.
She would be like, well, between us, we've done far crazier things. We even died and came back to life, so we've got that going for us, right, gang?
Yeah.
You died and came back to life. The resurrection of Rock and Roll's reinforcements. You've come back from the dead to fight for Siege Ball and keep the Fennel Fighters alive and kicking. I love it. I'm going to name a pastry after you. The Gertrude.
Can it be a grown-up?
Yes, that whatever that is. Perfect. We'll make that in the next thing. And what could yours be? The Firian Danish. And Blossier's Blue Cheese and Bacon Roll.
Oh, that sounds really good. But not sweet enough though. You got to add little bits of honey in there.
Oh yes, see, she's got a mind for business as well. Or dip it, have a pot of dipping honey, and you can dip the thing in the yes, it's gonna be so good.
You can see he's kind of like walking around the room, and he's just like caught up in his own like showmanship or whatever.
I love this guy. He's like, I'm a genius.
Yeah,
He's
pretty
like,
much.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're not.
Yeah. Well,
But do you think we're gonna win this Siege Ball game?
I don't know, Blossom. I just wanted to play, But we gotta try and win. The Aegis Strikers, they're kind of baddies, but
Baddies?
They're bad.
baddies.
They're only bad because they're really good.
They're bad because they're good.
Just don't use demo against them, Blossom. That's not allowed.
Okay. What can I use against them? What about Lish? Can I use Lish?
No.
You'll get a bat and stuff. We'll give you all the right things to play with. But I'll teach you all of this tomorrow.
Okay. I don't know if you can stab stuff with a bat though.
No, but you're not allowed to stab the ball. That would be cheating.
Oh. Gertrude, how'd you play again?
I'll teach you tomorrow.
Okay. Well, exciting anyway. I've never played a game of stage ball before.
We'll be a natural,
So-
Blossom.
Okay. Well, as long as there's, as long as it's fun.
It'll be really fun. I promise. And then, you can say that you got to play on the same team as Crispy Dungrot. Even though he won't be playing, but,
Is that a good thing?
Yes. Crispy Dungrot's
Okay.
famous.
Oh, really?
Just look at him. And she's just like, stars in her eyes, just staring at Crispy. He's just kind of sitting in the corner, just eating a sandwich.
So are we going to be playing with a famous Crispy Dunrock guy?
Well, no, but he's played on the Fennel Fighters, obviously, for a long time, so you can tell people that you've played on the Fennel Fighters too.
Oh. Okay. I'll do that. That's a good idea. Well, it's kind of exciting. Well, I guess I'll start telling everyone now. And she starts walking around the bar and telling everyone she's going to work for the Fennel Fighters. It's like, have you heard we're going to be on the
There's
Fennel Fighters?
Literally only these 5 people in here, by the way. So it just,
Outside.
And they're just like, what? Who cares? Fennel Fighters are shit, sort of thing.
Yeah, but they're going to be really good.
And then the next person will be like, well, it can't be as bad as fucking Dale Melton.
I don't know, probably not, but yeah. Yeah.
Inferior, do an insight check on Dale Melton.
Yeah, what are you trying to determine?
Can I understand the mind of Dale Melton?
Wait, is this one Dale
Is-
Melton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he as stupid as he looks? Oh,
Even with a 9, you think, yes.
wow.
He looks like there's nothing in there.
No.
So what are you guys doing now?
Aaron's just staring at Dale Melton.
Yeah, he's just spacing out. He's like looking into the void. It's like he can see between the fabrics of reality, or maybe he's just brain dead.
Aaron staring at him and considering starting a cult based around Dale Melton.
Oh. We'd have lunch here probably and then go
Yeah.
to Old Soul.
If you
Yeah, come on, so.
take off
So-
like 3 gold probably in total for lunch.
Yeah,
Um,
I took one. Of them.
Gertrude would try and make what's his name? Make a Blossier blue cheese and bacon roll before they go, just to try and get Blossom more pumped up for it.
Wow, I'm definitely gonna roll to see how good it is. Let's give him a -1 because he's probably not great at cooking. It's it tastes like it tastes wet and like wet bread with
Ugh.
overcooked
Ugh.
bacon, and the cheese tastes like it's gone a little bit mouldy. It's not very
It's actually
nice.
quite nice, to be honest. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more honey. That'd be really nice.
You need to make it a dagger shape as well, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's definitely a dagger shape.
Yeah, you see Beedle is like,
Right, well, I've sorted that issue. The best manager on the planet. And, well, I'm gonna go out now. Enjoy your evenings.
and he kind of just
Hey,
leaves.
bye. Should we go as well? I finished all my draft noodle.
Yeah, let's go to the archive.
So you're making your way to the archive, leaving the rock and rolls behind, and the Fennel Fighters having somehow signed up with them. Right.
Yeah, Varian's feeling a little bit swept along in all of this. It's just
Yeah,
like,
don't blame you.
what is happening?
Yeah.
Gertrude would not explain. She just kind of assumes everyone knows.
So you make your way across the city, towards from the Peddler's Row to back into the Scatters on the very edge of the western side of the city, and you eventually arrive at this very large building that overlooks much of the other buildings in the area. The huge library wearing the colours and the flags of Ioun, symbolising the archive of the Cobalt Soul, and it is very busy around the outskirts with various different monks, and loud, various different monks who are going around their business. And making your way inside, you see there's lots of different studious people who are reading books at tables, and there's quite a collection of various folk who make up this relatively small library compared to many of the other archives you might have gone to, Gertrude. The one in Zadash makes this one look like extremely small. The Zadash one is massive in comparison, but it's still got a sort of a decent selection of folk. As you sort of make your way in through the sort of large doors that stand on 20 feet high almost, you sort of they hang open. Inside you see there's a group of sort of initiate monks who are kind of doing stretches and kind of like some of them in like sort of yoga positions, and at the front you see this man. You see like a bald man who's got kind of a smile on his face, and he's like doing stretches, and he's like, and you do it this way, and well, if we're going to be heading out into the wilderness, you're going to have your wits about you. It's going to be an exciting journey. And he's sort of listening, and he's sort of, he's very focused. He's clearly like, gathering the students for some kind of expedition, you think. Would you listen?
Gertrude doesn't recognise him, does she?
No, she wouldn't, no.
I don't know. I guess she'd be listening more in a...
If you want, you can do a perception check and see if you can hear what he's talking about more.
I guess she's kind of interested, because, like, those were the days.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening closer, like, sort of catches your ear, like them getting ready for some kind of expedition, and he says, now remember, we are going to attempt to find the forgotten depths of the Bastille of Torment, a massive, multi-level dungeon where Torog captured the enemies of the Betrayer gods during the Age of the Arcanum. Who knows what horrors may lie within, but it is no secret that if we were to find this place, it may open up the archives to recover many arcane secrets and treasures left behind by the Betrayer gods. Who's excited as I am? This is going to be great. You see many of the students are kind of like nodding together like, wow, this is going to be amazing, trying to find a ancient vault of the Betrayer gods. It could be, some of them look quite scared, but these are very, they're Cobalt Soul monks. They're very excited to even be involved in such an expedition. And you think maybe like he looks quite an experienced expositor from what you can tell, Gertrude, based on what you know. It looks like it. They look excited and scared and very much ready to go as he's like, right, continue the stretching. We need to make sure we're all at top physical peak physique if we are going to be not only making our way into the Pearl Bell Wilderness and the Dunrock Mountains. Ooh, and crane pose. And so he sort of goes back to doing sort of these different stretches, and they all kind of follow in suit of doing these different sort of yoga poses, and then he sort of changes. He's like, and Black Dragon, and then sort of like moves out his arms like up in a position, and
She would take note of what he's saying, but she wouldn't intrude. Like, they've got their own little job to do.
Yeah, of
And
course.
there's an exciting little thing for the students, so she doesn't want to like impose.
yeah, as you sort of move into sort of the centre of the library, you see there's like a large desk where you would know that many of the archives have like a section with some of the archivists who sort of go around and read books, and there's a big table with this sort of, not a desk, a table more thing, like it's almost like 20 feet wide and 20 feet across, with lots of different students around the centre of it, and you see there's like sort of more experienced archivists who are kind of walking around the tables. You could get their attention if you wanted to.
Well, firstly, she'd be like, Therian, what did you want to find here? Was it related to, what we released?
Yes, that is my first concern.
Well, I can help you find that, but there's some things I wanted to try and find here too, so maybe I can help you and then go off on my own.
Thank you, Gertrude. Would like that very much. Once I have the books in front of me, I can happily sit and read.
And looks around
Blossom
at
looks
Blossom.
around. Yep.
Would there be any rules here, Natalie, that
There
she needs
will
to
be.
know?
There will be. Like rules in terms of the thing. Mostly like, don't just start grabbing books off the thing. You would know that you would usually, like, if you're attending. Even as an expositor in training, Gertrude, you'd know that there are specific archivists at each archive who watch over the books and will like show different students and different other people who might be coming in just off the street to learn. They assign specific archivists to sort of show you around and shadow you whilst you're doing it, so you can't do anything sort of, you can't steal any books or do anything up toward. You might have a bit of like flexibility with that, considering you're a expositor in training, but you still think it's more just like protocol. It's not like something you'd really ever argue with, because why would you? Like, you would never come here and steal anything, do you know what I mean? So
So Gertrude has an idea.
yes.
She basically wants to help Therian find the books that he's looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and then leave him to it. She wants basically to distract Blossom, get someone who takes her to, well, one of these people you're saying about who might know
Yes.
about weapons and daggers, and try and be like, yeah, she's not going to look at the books, but try and just distract her and try and teach her about daggers or something while you're here.
Okay, do me a persuasion check and see if you can find an archivist who might be willing to dedicate their time.
And then finally, she wants to look at stuff on like arcane vegetables and all that sort of
Yes.
stuff. Shit.
To most of the archivists, you would come across one archivist straight away who would say, "Oh, nice to see another member of the Soul come in. I'm not familiar with you. What is your name?"
I'm Gertrude von Tillage. I did a lot of study in Zadash. I'm just travelling on my way to Rex Entrum.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name is Salvador Townsend.
It's good to meet you, Salvador.
And it is to meet you, Miss Von Tillage. You are saying you want someone to. Well, I can certainly dedicate myself to showing you any information you wish to find in the archive. I can, if you have anyone else, in terms of, we are quite busy at the moment, unfortunately, so it will be difficult to provide multiple different archivists to show different people around. I can probably provide 2, including myself.
Well, have you got one that's good at distracting people? My friend, she gestures like trying to be discreet at Blossom. she's easily distracted, and I fear she might touch some books if she gets bored. But I can find my
see.
own way.
Well, let me see if Ariana's not too busy. Might be able to put something together there, but I'm not sure how long she's available for. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour or so. But
are there any like groups of students doing like just exercises?
there would be the group at the front.
Would it be particularly energetic exercises?
It's more like yoga than proper exercise. Well, yoga is proper exercise, but it's not like cardio.
She'd look around at Blossom and be like, "Me and Farian are probably going to be studying for a bit. Blossom, is there anything you want to do while you're in here?"
Are these floating books actually?
Yeah, there would definitely be like floating books that are sort of sitting in various places. Most of the chairs would be full though with students and other people who are studious types.
Gertrude, can I have a floating book?
Is this guy still there?
He would definitely still be there, and he would be like,
Are there any floating books that you could... And she'd try and like gesture, being like, "Come on, there must be some really shit floating books you've got."
I mean, we have some in the dungeoneering section. There are many enchanted books we have for the ability to float, so it's for easier reading. I can have Ariana cast an enchantment spell on any book to make it easier to read for any of you.
If I was to stand on a floating book, would I float as well?
No, the weight of you would cause the book to fall to the floor, unfortunately. That would be quite the thing, though, wouldn't it? You could use it as a step of stairs up to the heavens.
I was thinking, something else. She sort of chuckles to herself. She's like, "Oh, I don't really want a floating book if I can't sit on it,
Well, so I can get a shadow clerk to show you whatever particular things you might be looking for within the archive. What would you like to do, Miss Von Tullidge?
Should we try and find what you're looking for first, Varian?
Please.
What are you looking for? What can I I'm happy to act as shadow clerk today. What sort of line of research are you looking to get into?
We have. It would be within druidic practices, and we have a name.
Oh?
Omen Shadowflow.
I can't say I'm familiar with the name, but druidic practices is a good place to start. I can take you over to that particular section of the library.
Particularly with dreams.
Dreams, okay. Very well. If you'd like to follow me, please. And he leads you down like long stretches of library, and eventually you pass by a number of students and people hard at work reading and filling out different kinds of essays, and it's very quiet in here, and there's a kind of like natural kind of hum to the place, almost like a magical hum. Sorry, Hannah.
If Blossom's following behind as well.
Yeah.
And she's just walking up to everyone's desk and looking at what they're reading. So, what are you reading?
Yeah, I think he'd instantly catch on and sort of like nod to Gertrude, like, "I see what you mean." Ariana, and you see eventually bump into a girl, and he says, I would like you to
could you shadow this this woman here and act as shadow clerk and just keep her occupied?
And she's like, yes, of course. And she's like, please follow right this way.
Hello.
And she sort of starts showing you around Blossom, sort of giving you a tour kind of thing.
He like looks back to Fiona and Gertrude who are like wandering away, I guess, and she's like,
Gertrude, give her a thumbs up.
okay. Okay. She gives you a thumbs up back. Okay, I guess we're gonna go find out some more stuff.
Yes, I can tell you the entire history of the Cobalt Soul and the building, and would that interest you? How the archive was first constructed?
Very boring. No.
What would you... Was there any particular line of research you're looking to do?
Not really.
How about you, well, old Ernest, is always, very exciting. He's planning, an expedition into the Pearl Bar Wilderness. Perhaps you'd like to listen to, and join in the yoga class, whilst they prepare for said expedition. Could be quite good for it is very good for the mind and body. It brings you closer together in harmony between both aspects.
Yoga? I don't know what yoga is. Is it fun?
You do a series of stretches and different techniques and positions to stretch your muscles and channel your energy into different aspects of your body.
I guess we could try it. I've never done it before.
Okay, well, I can assure you either way that Ernest has plenty of tales and stories of this particular expedition. He's very excited for new students who might, or just those who may be willing to listen in. There's the possibilities of what arcane secrets they may find on this particular expedition.
Secrets.
She sort of shows you towards the sort of front again where you passed, and she sort of calls out saying, Ernest, I have someone who is willing, is wishing to practice in on the class and just listen in. He's like, oh, of course, that would be lovely. Please come sit up at the front, and I'll show you. Are you is this your first time?
Yeah, I don't even know what yoga is, so.
Oh, well, I've got a lot of things to teach you then. Please come to the front of the class and I can show you the positions as we go through them. Golden Dragon, everyone, calls that, and you see all the students go into this different form, and he's like, let's start with an easy one. Let's start with the cockatrice. And he starts slowly showing you through these different positions, Blossom.
Okay.
Acting.
Blossom's actually really good at positions,
Yeah.
so she will do them quite well.
I think you take to it very quickly, Blossom, actually, and Alice is like, oh, very impressive. Well, maybe you have to do some more advanced techniques. Do a dexterity check for me, Blossom.
Okay.
Not bad, not bad. I think maybe we stick with the basics and build up to that, of course. And, well, if you know, you're a like-minded, adventurous mind like myself, maybe when you're ready, you might be, you may be willing to join the expedition to the Pearl Bar Wilderness and trying to find the Bastille of Torment.
Sebastian. Sebastian?
The Bastille. No, not the name. It's the Bastille of Torment. It is the forgotten depths, supposedly lie somewhere within the Dunrock Mountains, and I, Ernest Burnisfair, what's the name? Ernest Burnisfair. Why did I call him that? It's such a hard name to say. I, Ernest Burnisfair, will uncover the arcane secrets that lie within. I'll be the first who to find its location and learn the true nature of the place. Isn't that fascinating?
It's kind of interesting. Depends what the secret is, you know. If it's a secret, like, you know, where somebody hides
Well,
their underpants, it's not very secret or
there could be
interesting.
arcane
But,
secrets,
you know,
new magic, new spells that we do not even have access to from the Age of Arcanum itself. There may be powerful artifacts. There may be even, well, it's possible, but we have heard that.
well,
My information tells me that an arm of the betrayer may even lie within.
arm of the betrayer. Was it a betrayer cut his arm off or something?
No, the arms of the betrayers are sentient weapons forged from the souls of fiends by the betrayer gods for their humanoid champions in the calamity in the Age of Arcanum. They're more than just art magic items. They are powerful sentient beings filled with fury and eager to be wielded and to spill blood. Daggers, there could be anything. The ones that we have uncovered a rapier forged from spider silk.
Tell me about the daggers, Mr. Man.
I'm just imagining this guy getting really passionate about it and Blossom being like, oh, and then next to her, like, just dead eyes, legumes, like, whoa.
Yeah, definitely.
Levels.
He would just sort of go on and be like, well, there's the rumours of the blade of broken mirrors, the stone dagger of Tharisdun has yet to be found after the calamity. Supposedly, it had the power to warp reality around its wielder. The life force of a Glabrizu named Ragazu was used to forge the weapon.
Is there a dagger of fireworks? She cuts him off.
Yeah.
He just keeps carrying on and talking for ages about the various weapons and arms of the betrayers that might lie within the Bastille of Torment. And and it kind of you're just kind of listening in and interrupting in him, and then he kind of like doesn't listen and keeps interrupting you and going on these, and it's sort of a back and forth for quite a good distracting person to have before you. Meanwhile, we will cut back to Firian and Gertrude, who are shown by the archivist, the shadow clerk, to the section on druidic sort of rituals and things like that. How this is going to work is that you're going to have to do a skill challenge, and this will determine how long it takes you to sort of find the right material within the library. So each failure of the skill challenge, you can use it's not like a skill challenge in terms of you've got to describe to me how you use different things, or you can do that if you want to. You can just use investigation each time if you prefer, because or perception, because obviously those particular things in searching are going to make the most sense, but it is going to be sort of a best of 3 kind of scenario. If you fail together, you basically it will cost you like 6 hours of searching for stuff. For each failure individually, though, it will cost you an hour of time to try and find said book. And if you pass all together, then obviously you find the book and you can do your research within the time frame sort of given. So, like, are you gonna if you want to help each other, you can roll with advantage, or how do you want to do this?
I think one thing Gertrude had mentioned to Firian is if he could remember any iconography he was wearing that could point to like what gods he was associated with.
Can Firian remember anything?
Do a history check first. This is quite a high DC. To see if you can remember, and then I will make you do a perception check to see if you could identify what it was. This is pretty high DC, because it would not be easy to spot.
History.
No, Virian, you don't remember any specific iconography he was wearing, sadly.
Yeah. I'm not sure, Gertrude. It's all a nasty blur.
You think he was concentrating on conjuration because he was a great conjurer, or because it was a dream?
Virian, do an insight check. You get the impression that he was like searching for something. each time he conjured up something, like, you felt like he was trying to get to a specific creature, and when he arrived at that creature, he was like, you could see that he was very pleased once he summoned the horizon back tortoise.
I think it was a journey to finally summon the tortoise.
You think it could?
Rides.
Do you think if we looked up this tortoise, then there might be some mythology connected with him that he's associated with?
Worth trying, Gertrude. Thank you. It's a good idea.
Yeah, so if you guys want to roll investigation checks for me, just to see how long this takes, more than anything. It's not really a fail or a success, it's more...
No! I'm inspiring that.
Yeah, that's fair.
He looks at Gertrude in her element and is inspired by her love of knowledge around her. 18.
We both got an 18. That is, I will count each one as a success.
Nice.
So 2 out of 3 successes so far. Each time you roll, it's going to cost you an hour of searching regardless, but a failure will add another hour to that. So it does cost you 2 hours so far as you're searching through various different books. You find lots of things from different druid circles. Firian. You'd find shepherd circles, not quite the thing you're looking for. You get sometimes like a dreamer circles, but it's not the exact kind of thing. It was more very kind of vague information and things along there, but you feel like you're getting closer. Can I have one more check from one of you? Another investigation.
So,
Go, Gertrude, go.
trying to think logically.
Mm-hmm.
If he was looking for this tortoise, he might have been one before. Wherever tortoise is from.
You know that currently they're very much... Actually, do a nature check for me, see, or a history check. Oh, 20 fucking 4, Jesus. You 100% know that there are roaming cities of them in Jorhas. There's a... you would know the name of it even, which is a place called... Let me just quickly look it up. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's called Erzin. Erzin is basically a large number of denizens make their homes atop the shells of horizon-backed tortoises, and the tortoises, the settlement breaks up and scatters across the march for periods of time, leaving satellite outposts all over the region before reforming elsewhere among the muck of. And you know that, I think because of your relation to the Cobalt Soul, you'd also know that the Joindarian military finds the movements of Erzin really hard to track and really hard to predict. Basically a moving city.
So, that's in a certain region, though, right?
Yeah, well, as far as you're aware, as the denizens of Erzin and the horizon-backed tortoises that make up their city travel all over
right.
of Jorhas. Okay. Yeah, they really do travel quite a far distance.
And she'll try and find anything on these cities, I suppose. See if that's somehow related. Like, maybe he used to have one.
Yeah, you can roll a investigation check for me. 12. Unfortunately, that line of reasoning is not leading you down any paths as you sort of search more. The knowledge of horizon-backed tortoises in this part of the world isn't that great, and it doesn't seem that it has any particular connection to you know, there's mentions in history of them being, you know, used like in this manner where they use these like huge mounts and like roaming fortresses and things like that. But there's little information that goes as far back as, you know, you think might be necessary based on the knowledge that Silas told you, that, you know, this supposedly happened before the Age of Arcanum sort of thing, so long ago.
Yeah.
So that will cost you another 2 hours. So currently you're looking at sort of 4 hours of time.
It's just that guy's entertaining Blossom for 4 hours. My hat goes off to him.
Yeah, pretty difficult, but he's managing it maybe, just about. Roll me another investigation check. Oh, what? Sorry, go on. Hannah.
Hold on. 4 hours is a long time, even for Blossom. Let's do see if she sneaks away.
Okay.
Wisdom maybe?
You got a 2. What do you think she would do?
I think she's sneaking away with a 2. She's lost.
Make a stealth check for me, because the Shadow Clerk is they have got pretty high perception. 21. Jesus fucking Christ! And let me quickly check their thingy. Oof. Where are they? Looking at Soul Monk. For perception. No, you do manage to sneak off. You lose your Shadow Cloak. What do you want to do whilst you snuck off?
She's just gonna explore the building.
Yeah, you find. Do an investigation check for me, Blossom. Just to see what sort of things you find. Yeah, you would find a lot of books, a lot of different bookshelves, but I think eventually, after sort of searching the different halls of these different things with lots of different students, you'd find like a sort of a grander office that looks like it's quite important. And on the sort of door, written in common of the thing, it says Office of High Curator Muriel Liondark.
That sounds interesting. Is it open?
It's not, no.
It's not open. Luckily, I've got this chime of opening. It's gonna open it with the chime of opening.
Yeah, clink, click, and the door clicks open and unlocks. And as you push the door open, you see the face of this person sitting behind them.
Yeah.
He's sorry, they're non-binary. I need to get that right. They are sitting behind like a large desk at the far end of the room with a big bookcase behind them.
Oh, okay.
And it's sort of floating up before them, and they sort of look up and say, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Yeah. No, I just got a bit bored, so I'm just wandering around. And this room looked really interesting and big, so I wanted to come in.
It is quite a big room. Please, come take a seat.
Oh, okay. Goes and sits down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello. My name.
What do you do?
I am the High Curator of the archive.
High Curator? What does that mean?
I am like the leader of the archivists. I run the entire archive. I'm the boss man, you might say.
Oh, the boss man. Does that mean that you own the whole building?
Not own per se. I just run things for the Kobold Soul.
Oh, well, is that fun? You have fun running things through the Kobold Soul?
I take great pride in my work, yes. I enjoy helping the many archivists we have throughout to manage our great library.
As he's talking to her, she's like subtly like fiddling with her jewellery, like not Not subtly, but like subtly, like trying to show it off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep, and I went to the shop earlier, and she shuffles it about the jewellery as well, and like presents her hand with the jewellery on it.
Oh, it's very pretty.
Yeah, I know, right? It's really good. And yeah, well, what are you doing now?
I'm currently doing a bit of light reading.
Jumps up from the chair and like walks over to have a look.
It's about
What are you reading?
I'm currently reading about lesser idols who walk the plane, the realms of Exandria,
Lesser idols.
or some who are not necessarily walk. Some who are locked away, others who are others we do not know the location of, or who or what they are.
Everyone's got a lot of fancy language here. I don't really know.
I'm currently reading about Vesh, the Bloody Siren. If you've heard of them.
No idea. No.
Well, it's quite interesting. Vesh is a witch, or perhaps a demigod, but she's walked Exandria for centuries, seducing those who pry into forbidden magics and drawing them to her as possible suitors.
Do you know any forbidden magics?
No, I do not know.
Oh, okay.
It is interesting to
Would
read
a
about
forbidden
them.
magic be like, conjuring up some smelly pants? Would that be a forbidden magic?
I think that would be quite forbidden, yes. But no, this is something much darker and masochistic and hedonistic rituals where they quite horrible things. Bloody massacres, really.
Oh, so they're bad guys.
Yes, that would be an appropriate way of labelling them.
Oh. Well, do you mind if I just walk around? I'm kind of curious. Just all the stuff in here is all like pretty, and there's floating books everywhere.
Of course,
She just looks around the room that he's in right now.
As long as you promise not to touch anything, I will quite happily go get you some tea and biscuits if you'd like.
Oh my gosh, biscuits! Yes.
I made them myself, actually.
What about cookies? Do you have cookies?
Yes, I can provide cookies. I have chocolate chip.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They are my favourite. I will fetch you. Would you like any particular flavoured tea? I have strawberry tea or orange tea.
Have you got box fizz tea?
An orange tea would be quite similar, I believe.
Yeah, one of them.
Very well. I will fetch them for you, and like I said, please.
Just sits on his desk while she waits for him to come back.
Okay, and they kind of smile at you, and
as you do, and says, "Just don't touch anything," and walks off.
Okay. He starts poking everything.
Yes. Meanwhile, as Firion and Gertrude continue their search, would you do me another investigation check, please?
Go, Gertrude, go!
Yay! She's not actually got it as proficiency. Oh, there you go.
Oh, nat 20. And,
Beep, 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 beep,
and
beep.
eventually, your search comes to an end, Gertrude, as you find a book that is called it would be about the betrayer gods, and it would be about the calamity in particular, and it would be talking about it would be sort of something you wouldn't necessarily expect to find straight away. Let me change the music because I think this is let's try. You'd find a book that sort of speaks about the calamity and the betrayer gods, and the betrayer gods had certain champions throughout the calamity, that they formed pacts with, and the champions, the betrayer gods, were used powerful artifacts to help slay their enemies during the calamity, which was, if you're not sure, Gertrude would 100% know, is a war between the gods that was fought on the surface of Exandria back when the gods could walk on the surface of Exandria. After the prime deities defeated the betrayer gods, they sealed all of them themselves behind the divine gate, this is known as, and they can no longer walk the world of Exandria itself, only be able to provide their most devout worshippers power from beyond in much smaller scale. But once they could walk, and eventually, unfortunately, the betrayer gods were imprisoned long ago during the founding, which, as you would know, Gertrude, would be the time where the gods originally came to Exandria, and the primordial forces that lived upon Exandria, when the gods made their children, it angered the primordial forces, who those primordial forces essentially wanted these new creations off their planet, and some of the gods wanted to just start anew. They didn't want to anger the primordials even further. They wanted to kill their own creations and go elsewhere, start anew on a new planet. But the prime deities that you are familiar with, Melora, Ioun, Sehanine, you would know that they chose to grant their followers, their children, great gifts. They granted them arcane magic, and they helped them fight the primordials and tame this chaotic world. But the betrayers were the gods who did not want this, and they turned against what the prime deities wanted. They did not want to be part of this. They wanted to start anew, and because of this, they were locked away in prison planes by the prime deities. And you would know the calamity took effect when somehow someone freed the betrayer gods from these prison planes, and they were now able to walk back on the world of Exandria, and the calamity happened, and they went to war. And the Age of Arcanum, an age of magic, and the whole age where floating cities cross the skies, was brought to a destructive and bitter end as the gods waged their war, and their followers waged war, until eventually, like I said, the prime deities did win and sealed themselves and the betrayers beyond the reach of their children. And you come to a section that talks about their champions, and I think at this point you would start to learn of, you'd get the name Oman. Shadowflow comes up, and it talks about the leader of the Fearbold people, the children created by the Wild Mother herself, Melora. And Oman was, you find the section, and then I assume now, knowing you found this book, you think, oh shit, this is it. And I imagine you want to involve Firion before heading any further.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he looks agitated and frustrated at not finding much, but as you bring him over, yeah, his eyes go wide. He's reading along with you.
So you both learn that, like I said, Oman was the leader of the Fearbold people, and he was the first ever chosen of Melora. He was the first ever to be gifted her divine magic. This was during the founding, where the prime deities chose to go to war with the primordials, and she gifted him a mighty horizon-back tortoise named Gaios, and with his steed at his with his steed and his divine magic, he led his people alongside Melora herself in destroying the primordials. And furthermore, when the betrayers tried to stop this from happening, tried to intervene, there was a particular betrayer god called Zahir, the Cloaked Serpent. It doesn't go into anything specific in this book, but both of you feel free to roll religion checks to see how much you know about Zahir.
Only a 10 from me.
Not much for Firian and not an awful lot from Gertrude. I'd say Gertrude is very proficient in religion though, so she would know a little bit. You would know that Zahir is an evil god of poisons, darkness, and supposedly the creator of snakes and Serpent King. You know that... I think that's all you'd know, actually. You probably don't know an awful lot about the betrayer. Beyond that, I think you would know, actually, that Zahir supposedly loathed Arathsiths and Melora, for he despises life, order, and love above all things. You would know that his surviving worshippers used poison and fire to undermine civilization and consume nature. When Zahir was one of the key betrayer gods who opposed Melora, Oman, as Melora's chosen, saw fit to conduct the ritual to seal Zahir within its prison plane. He was at the head next to Melora as the ritual was conducted, and unfortunately, as part of said ritual, he sacrificed himself. Not such a powerful being as Zahir was not easy to imprison, even with the help of a god. And unfortunately, Oman offered himself to be imprisoned alongside Zahir, so to ensure that he would not break free of this prison plane. No one knows what happened to Oman during this time, imprisoned with a betrayer god within a prison realm. But Oman did return, because Zahir returned when the calamity happened, when the betrayer gods were all freed from their varying degrees of prison planes. And when Oman returned, he was at the front of Zahir's supporters. He appeared at the centre of Strathfell, which you would know is a... You would know... Actually, no, both of you do history checks for me. See how much you know. It's not hugely high DC, but... Natural 20 for Firian, very good. Gertrude would know a little bit. You would know that, Firian, that... I'll quickly get it up, because the natural 20 requires more information, I think. Sorry. Bear with me 1 second while I try and find this information. Because
All
it's
good.
in here somewhere. But I don't know exactly where it is. Where is this? You would know that Strathel sits in the northern portion of a peninsula known as the Tooth of Zahir on the eastern edge of Blightshore, which is an area of Xhorhas that is right next to the sea. The most noticeable thing about Strathel is that it is a petrified forest, Firion. And from reading this book, what you did learn is that when Oman returned at the front of Zahir's army, he appeared at the centre of this forest that was not petrified at the time, and with his mighty horizon-back tortoise, the tortoise spewed out this awful, noxious gas and petrified an entire forest. You also would learn from this book that, ironically, for Oman, that during the calamity, it was his own people that defeated this corrupted version of him. No one knows truly how he became the chosen of Valora who turned to the side of Zahir's champion. And for 1,000 years, once defeated by his own people, he was sealed by the Dreamer clan within a dream until very recently. And I would say that is what you learn about Oman Shadowflow from your time researching.
Damn.
So he's either going to come back in that forest or another forest that will quickly get fucked.
Potentially. Or, you know, there would be one more thing you would learn, that at the head of Zahir's army during the calamity, him and his mighty horizon-back Dios caused significant damage across Exandria. Much of Xhorhas and the wastes that once were, he not only petrified the forest, but he attacked cities, seemingly peering out of nowhere. The tortoise had some ability to teleport into places, and suddenly you'd have this enemy that, very much fitting for Zahir, would strike with no warning, and you could not tell when or where Oman Shadowflow would strike from, and where the mighty Horizonback would spew its noxious gas and petrify people, cities.
Jesus.
Yeah. Pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a lot of scary stuff to digest. Yeah, I think Firium says to Gertrude, like, I'm pleased with learning, but I am not reassured.
If anything, this is even worse than I thought.
With something on this scale, I fear for damage to great cities and towns. Do you think we should warn the rulers of the land?
They're I don't know how credible we'd be, but until it happens once, why would they believe anything?
It's
I mean, how do you prepare for a giant tortoise spewing gas over your land?
true. You don't, I suppose. I'm scared, Gertrude.
Me too, Firian.
What we lit out was many people. The inn was bad enough.
I guess there's a bigger library in Rex Centrum, right?
Yes, and this the biggest archive in the world.
Now we know what we're looking for, and maybe I can ask people in Rec Centrum about what we could do, where we could go, see what they can find. I feel like with all the knowledge at our disposal, we might be able to work out more if there's more of the archivists or expositors out there looking for it.
I'm very glad, grateful you're here, Gertrude. That brings me some solace. That sounds a good plan.
Well, they defeated him once, so they must be able to do it again.
I have to believe so. He kind of holds tight his staff of the Wild Mother.
And I think with that, we will end today's session there.
Ooh.